Hey,
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
how do you do? Hello.
It is 7:45. Do you know where your children are?
Hopefully watching the podcast.
My mom and dad do.
If you're old enough to remember that from the local news, it is 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Do you know where your children are at?
Yeah, it's like Channel 4, I think, or something.
Channel 4, Channel
Is it?
5.
Yeah.
Was it?
All those
I think Larry
news.
Connors used to say it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All those news stations.
Spin your
say
microphone around.
Dropping names.
Larry
Nope, the
Connor.
top part
Is
is
he the
just
guy
the
that got tased on air?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think so.
Boomer, spin his microphone around to where that it's actually pointing to him. Yes, unspin it at the bottom.
Well, hello, everybody.
There it goes. Now we can hear Mark.
Now you can.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and say something in there, Mark.
Hello.
There
how's
we
it
are.
going?
Dude. Popping
are.
speakers
How about
and stuff.
that?
Well, no. So hey, that was like I said. If you're old enough to remember that, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are at?
Yeah.
Do you think there was anybody that heard that and was like, "Holy shit, where are my kids at?"
Baby.
Julius Hunter,
Is that who it was?
Larry Connors. I
Yeah.
want to say that was two of them.
Well, for those of you who are watching, if you're local, you might know what the hell we're talking about. If you're not local, then you're probably thinking that we're absolutely
I
crazy.
think that was a nationwide campaign.
Was it a
actually.
nationwide thing?
Pretty sure it was a
wouldn't lie.
nationwide
Nationwide
campaign. 10 o'clock, where are your children? Do
It
you
was
know?
like some guy was sitting
Do
at
you
the
know
table
where your
and was like,
children are?
"You know what? We need to put these parents in check."
Yeah.
Every 10 p.m. we're
He
going to
lost
ask
his
them
kid
if they
one
know
night.
where their kids are at.
Yeah, did any parent ever go, oh, shit. Where's my kid?
Hey, it's 9:59. Oh my God, they're going to ask me?
You know what's crazy? What about that one proactive kid though that was like, "It's 9 p.m. Do you know where your parents are at?" Oh my God. Maybe that never got thrown around back in those days. The internet wasn't really around whenever that was going on. Maybe I'm just ate up. I
Maybe,
don't know.
then maybe people didn't have cell phones as popular as they were. Maybe they had to yell out the back door like, "Hey!"
Hey, all I know is that whenever I was growing up, if I was out playing too long and it was dinner time, I was just listening for Dad to whistle
Yep.
or
Yep.
you know,
The whistle.
My mom
if you,
too.
if you heard the whistle, then you knew it was time to come in.
For sure. Street lights or the whistle, whichever
Streetlights,
came
lights.
first.
That was
Yeah.
a good one.
Street lights were
Street
definitely
lights
a rule.
just came on.
Yeah.
Whichever came first.
Yeah.
Being a kid, man. Roaming
Tell you
those
what.
streets.
Tell you what. Hey, but you know what? It had a lot of fun roaming those streets. Growing up, man, we
Dude,
grew
hell
up.
yeah.
You were there for a lot of the childhood. Boomer, you were there. Mark, I grew up with all of you
Yeah.
guys.
I drank out of garden hoses when I was younger.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you not?
Is that frowned
Yeah, I
upon?
did that.
What?
You live in South
did.
City. You
We
drink
jump,
out of
drinking
jump
out of it.
bikes
I did that.
without helmets. Like
that.
we got hurt.
We did. We
Part of
learned.
growing up.
That's
Yeah.
how you learned.
Exactly.
That is how you learn.
Part of growing up, man.
I mean,
I saw a meme today. It was about Vanilla Ice. I don't know the quote now. It says, "Stop, collaborate, and listen." It goes, "Some of you never stopped and collaborated and listened, and it shows."
Yeah.
awesome.
Turns out we should have listened to Vanilla Ice. Everybody.
Confucius say, "Listen to Vanilla Ice, and things will be okay."
They didn't stop and collaborate.
Mark, you're pretty thirsty over there, huh?
You know, I'm real thirsty.
Goodness gracious.
What is-
Yeah, I've got.
You got a beer on a Monday?
You
looks
got beer on
parched.
a Monday.
Beer on a Monday.
And in fact, I
Not
got a
frowned
couple
upon.
beers on a Monday. I got some Zwickel there. I'm sure everyone's had that. You know, Urban Chestnut. If anyone hasn't been there, their patios really
Don't you
cool.
love that?
Very cool. So Zwickel, very good summer beer. And then I got a Stupid Head.
Stupid head.
Stillwater
Stupid.
Arsenal double dry hop tropical smoothie with mango and pineapple.
It looks like
That
a,
is-
it looks
that's
like
a beer?
a
Really good.
Nickelodeon
Yeah,
commercial.
it's like a Rugrats can. That is
looks
one of
like
the
something
coolest
off
cans
Double
I've ever
Dare.
seen.
Yeah,
Doesn't it?
That's what it
Tropical
is.
Yeah, it kind
Okay.
of looks like that. Yeah,
Rugrats.
that's really good.
it does. It really does.
And,
If I was a kid, I would try to drink that. I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
I mean,
There are some
very
cool
cool can.
cans
Very
that
cool
are geared
artwork.
towards kid maybe.
The beer is good too. I'll get to that next. And then I got Cut the Red Tape from False Idol Brewing, which is out of Texas. We'll probably never get that here, but I keep running out of beer before the show ends, so I grabbed a third one.
There's plenty
Yeah.
of beer.
So where do you get
Funny
these? Like Randall's or what? Like a liquor store or where?
I go to
Schnucks?
Randall's, Friar Tuck's.
Good.
Cut the Red Tape was from Mr. Mariani.
Okay.
He brings me a lot of Dallas beer and Texas and all that good stuff. So
That man's got some good taste.
got
Eh?
some good taste.
And he knows
got
your
me-
taste too.
He got me started in on it, so usually anything he brings me is really good.
Well, it's good too to
And,
have people from a different state, different
Right.
breweries. They do things differently
Sure.
down there, so
Right.
it's good to have a little mixing bowl
And I'm-
of different flavors maybe up your sleeve. Right?
Exactly. I'm pretty open to anything. I just want to try stuff. So
Hey,
You've brought some
give
cool
me a beer.
beers.
Give
I've
me
seen
a
some
beer
cool
and I'll drink
stuff.
it.
sure.
So yeah, that's what
really
I got tonight.
3 delicious beers on
Plan
the
to get to
Monday.
all of them.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, you always have a beer for us, and there's always things that you use beer to wash down.
Yes, you do.
And apparently, you had something today that looked
had some
delicious.
good
You
food.
post that up on our group page.
I posted it on our group page. I don't know if anyone's.
I
It
saw
has
it.
been there a couple times. The Red Dirt Revival food truck. I called in. Took about 10 minutes. I got a catfish po' boy. It was wonderful, and I will definitely go back. They got smash burgers there. They've got dessert. They've got some other seafood options. I'm a big seafood guy, and it's very cool. It's actually in the parking lot of OSP Tap House, which I know a lot of people know where that is. That's our friend Colleen's parking lot there
Yeah.
Is it,
with the sports pub.
is
Hey,
it
Colleen.
stationary
So-
there? Or is it
It's
doesn't
not.
travel?
It just kind of travels. Yeah. So it's been there every few weeks. I think they set up, and they actually post when they're going to be there.
Yeah,
So
that's how most food trucks do.
if you find out their page on Facebook, track them down. They'll give you a heads up of where they're going to be.
Red Dirt Revival.
Red Dirt Revival.
Sounds
What's up, Jeff Wood?
amazing.
Catfish poor boy.
Yeah, and it was really good.
It looked good.
It was
Doggone it.
fantastic.
Jeff
You ate
Wood,
all of it,
thanks
right?
for tuning in, man.
You ate the whole thing right.
No, yeah. I was trying to cut calories, so I only ate all the fries.
All the fries.
That's how you do it.
With a diet
So it
soda.
you did
With a diet soda.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe.
now what? Now you had the catfish poor boy from there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like their specialty, or do they have something else, some other entrees there that you
They
would maybe
have-
recommend that you were enticed by?
The burgers I hear are fantastic, but I was in a seafood. I'm a seafood guy.
Okay.
Seafood, and I eat it.
Seafood and I ate it. I
But
remember
no,
that
I really
one.
love seafood and
Fish and shrimp now.
catfish.
Seafood.
It was like breaded real well. Had a good seasoning. I thought it was great. I would definitely get it again. If anyone's in that area or finds out where they're going to be, I definitely check it out. So
Yeah.
very cool.
That's cool.
Very good.
Well,
Sounds awesome.
there's another place though. I mean, obviously, Mark, you like to
I
crack
would
jokes.
have said
you like to
something, but
eat.
I had to get another drink in. So, yeah, Elaine Sandwiches. It's my wife's cousin's place. She started in 2015. It's on Cherokee Street, and she sources local produce, baked goods, everything's local, and they cater. Call ahead or order online. Get some sandwiches. She was I think she worked at Subway for like 15 years, and then just started her own sandwich shop. She's doing really well.
Really?
So,
That's
go
awesome.
check out Elaine. She's got some good sandwiches there.
It's on
Now,
Cherokee.
Help her out
now
a little
what kind
bit.
of sandwiches are we talking about? Does she do cold and hot
She
sandwiches?
does cold. I've never had a hot sandwich there. It's been a while since I've been. But the cold sandwiches are fantastic. I had a tuna sandwich when I was there, and it was really good. So check out their menu. They're on Facebook too, and just see what they got. Give them a visit.
Cool.
Help support Elaine.
Proves you can start as a sandwich artist in Subway and become
Start your own
something
thing.
enormously
Let me
big.
ask you something, guys.
Shout out Elaine.
This goes on. People talk about this over years because sandwiches are something that hits home for me. And Mark, I think it hits home for you as well.
I don't know if I could live without sandwiches.
I don't think I could either.
pretty much
Sandwiches.
So, boys, let me ask you, and for
Sandwich.
those of you that are here watching with us as well too, salad dressing on sandwiches, yes or no? Go.
No?
What kind of sandwich?
See, that's important. But come on now.
That is
Let's
important,
just say,
but never had
if
it.
you go to a sandwich place, are you looking for something you're putting a dressing on or something of those side of
I
those lines?
typically don't like it getting on my hands and
Okay.
getting sticky and messy. I look like I would, but I like it to be easy to eat. I think Italian sometimes with salami and things like that can mix
And
together
they put
well.
some of those Italian dressings
some
on
of
there.
that
Those are
stuff.
good. Okay.
It all depends on the sandwich.
So it
I think
depends
you
on the
can work
sandwich.
it. You can work it.
Okay.
That's
Boomer,
true.
what do you say?
I'm not a big salad dressing person, so I'm going to go no.
Okay.
But there are certain things like 9th Street Deli. They have this, it's a chicken tortellini or something like that. But it's like-
Tortillas?
tortilla.
Those damn
No,
tortillas?
it's a cheese tortellini, but there's like a French
tortellini.
salad dressing. But that with their
Ooh, that sounds good.
just like Philly cheesesteak. If you bite the cheese tortellini with the salad dressing on it and then take a bite of the sandwich, yeah, those two together. Are
Yeah.
really good. So I'm going to say no, but I'm just not a big salad dressing person.
Some things
I hear you.
can
There,
work.
there's certain Italian sandwiches that I do like to have a dressing on. Kevin Wingenbach and Kit Wagner both have thrown out that only on Rubens they like to throw some
That's a good
Italian
call.
dressing.
That's good. Yeah.
And then Kit says he does it unless it's Thousand Island on his Reuben. So he'll use a Thousand Island
Yeah,
dressing. on
it
his
comes on some sandwiches though.
Now
I
here's the
think.
thing though, because like what was it, Quiznos or whatever it was that whenever it came up, it was like, dude, they
Yeah,
got all these
Quiznos.
dressings. You can just dress up your sandwich however you wanted. I was not that type of person.
10,000 options.
Like,
There aren't many Quiznos around. Maybe
No,
because of
there's
that
not
reason.
probably.
I think there's one or two because my wife likes Quiznos. They're not bad.
I
They're
used
not
to go there all
They're
the
not
time.
bad. They just kind of started, I think, the craze of
Toasted, which was
toasted
yeah.
too. That's another thing. So toasted, yes or no?
No. Oh, shit. Depends on the sandwich.
It depends on the sandwich.
I'm still. I've never had salad dressing on a sandwich. So it's the first you're just bringing this.
Maybe
to my
you didn't
attention,
know.
and it's like
See,
a huge thing.
that's why we do this Q&A.
Giant
know.
curveball.
That's why we do this Q&A.
Yeah.
Now, me, I've had like the what's the Freaky Fast?
Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's. I almost said Little John's. Yeah. They
have Little John's.
They have a thing there called the Vito, and it comes with a little
Yeah,
bit of
I
like
get
a
that.
vinaigrette or like
I get that.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Do you
but, like,
consider that
that's-
salad dressing on your
I
sandwich?
wouldn't
Oil and
consider
vinegar
that.
is not
I was
really-
talking more of like the specialty sandwich places where you
Right.
go and they're like, "Would you like me to douse your sandwich in one of these juices?"
It doesn't need that much. I
doesn't.
mean, a
too
little
much
bit
sometimes.
maybe. but
Sometimes,
not-
sometimes the acidity does bring out the sandwich, though. But
Toasted sandwich, yes or no? If you're going to get it predominantly, are you getting a sandwich that's toasted or not?
God,
I guess that's more of the
it's
question.
a tough thing because I'm a big fan of the garlic cheese bread Italian trio from Joya's on the Hill.
Okay.
And that's toasted with garlic cheese.
That's Zach Jennings' favorite place too. Isn't
Oh.
it Joya's?
Ninth
he-
Street Deli, I think,
Ninth
is one of
Street's
them. But
good,
yeah,
too.
Goya's or Joya's is really
Joya's.
good too.
Blue City Deli
Yeah.
is
Bomb.
fire.
The best.
Yeah.
But and that's again, there's sandwiches where they don't need to do anything to them.
Sure.
And then there's other. If it's toasted, it's going to taste way better.
Boomer toasted or no?
Dude, I'm a huge fan of toasted hot sandwiches.
See?
I don't like cold sandwiches.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
I don't like them. I'll stick them in the microwave or toaster oven for a minute.
That's crazy. And
I don't like them cold.
The reason why I asked is because everybody's different. I don't do toasted sandwiches. I like cold sandwiches.
You
If
look
it's
like a
if it's
non-toasted type of dude.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate that. But no, if I'm going to like a Subway, if I'm going to a place, I'm gonna get a sandwich. I'm getting like an actual cold sandwich, or if I get something like. I remember I was getting a BLT, and they're like, "Would you like this toasted?" And I'm like, "No, thank you." And then they like threw cold bacon on my sandwich. I'm like, "I would still like you to microwave my bacon."
Yeah,
please."
that's
like,
That did
toast
mean-
my bacon and then
Cook,
put it on
but
my
it's-
non-toasted sandwich.
That's kind of gross.
Talk about overthinking some stuff there.
Some
like
of those
a-
sandwich artists aren't the best, though. You
No.
can't really get mad at them.
There's a sweet pepper onion. I think John Nesselhoff, if he's watching, at Blue City Deli on a cold sandwich. I don't know what's in it, but it's amazing.
Okay.
He knows what I'm talking about, and that's on the Benton Park is actually what the sandwich is called, and it is fire.
I like
It's
their
really good.
pizza, our pretzel bread. That's awesome there.
pretzel bread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone
Blue
ever
City
had the
Deli's good.
pizza place connected to Blues City Deli
Mellows
in the back?
Yeah,
No.
It's only
had-
open like 10
got
hours a week,
very tough hours.
but
Really?
it's apparently like some of the best
What kind of pizza? Are we talking
homemade,
here?
handmade, like
What's it called?
actual pizza,
it's
right?
like Neapolitan
Like
style. It's
Neapolitan
straight
style,
up
like from like Italy.
in the oven. Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of seating, but you can sit outside. And he actually opened that had more hours because of COVID.
Just
when
over-
he closed Blue City
Oh, because
Deli
of
down.
COVID?
So he kind of used that as kind of
I hear
know.
I haven't been there. I've been hearing about it for just years. It's apparently just like the best pizza you can get. They're only open like Thursday and Friday from like 4 to 9 or something.
It's really
very
good.
select
What's the name?
hours.
It's good.
Interesting.
What was it? Mellows.
Mellows,
MELO.
Pizzeria.
MELO.
And
They
they're
have a yellow
attached.
symbol on their logo,
It's right
right?
behind.
It's
It's
like
like,
right
the
behind
garage
it. Yeah.
of Blue City Deli.
so all your seating outside from Blue City, and the building stops, and then Mellows is right there, and
Yeah.
they have their own.
Not mellow
patio.
mushroom, right?
no,
Mellows. Okay,
no,
cool.
don't.
MELO.
MELOS.
Let's
Yeah,
see
I
what we
hear
got.
great things.
Very good.
We've got. Let's see here. Kevin Winglock says ranch on some chicken sandwiches, so I can
Could
go with
work.
that on some of those.
Could Yeah,
work. Not
okay.
opposed to. I'm just saying predominantly I don't normally go for one that does. There's a lot of people that do look for
ranch.
like the dressing on their sandwiches.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl says the legend from Legrand's is fire.
Oh, I forgot about Legrand's. That's
Yeah.
a good
Great
call.
place.
Yeah, so
Legrand's is
they
good.
definitely good call out there. He says he's got hot with some special sauce. Depends on the sandwich. It just the word special sauce always just kind of concerns me when they don't. Tell
Unless
you
it's
what's
with
in
G Love, I ain't having it.
Fancy
love it.
sauce? No, I'll mess with that.
it. Right,
No,
right.
don't touch my fancy sauce.
So
Hey, that's
Speak-
king of the castle. He can have fancy sauce.
fancy sauce, funky sauce. Let's talk about some music, Nick. Let's talk about something with some boogie boots, man. Let's put our boogie boots on here. Take us to a live stream.
I'm into this. I'm into this idea you got going
Yeah?
on here.
Okay.
Talk about a little music. There's a little bit of music stuff going on. Not really too much. Not gonna.
But hey, you know what? A lot more than there was a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's popping
Yeah,
back up.
it's
They're
getting
starting
there.
to come back, right?
Let's see some really cool things that have happened over the weekend. You guys can check out the replay of this, but the Disco Biscuits. I think I had mentioned this in a previous show. They played a show to an empty ballpark, but it was still awesome. They set up like where the dirt meets the grass in the outfield, and just put on a show in Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park. It was really cool. I checked most of the whole thing out.
They like recorded the live stream and
the
stuff?
whole it was live. It streamed live last week, Friday, I believe,
19th,
or Wednesday or Friday sometime. But yeah, you can still check it out. It's on YouTube, is where I caught it. They're still rolling it. It was really cool. It raised more than $75,000 for the Plus One for Black Lives Fund, which, Disco Biscuits are just a powerhouse, and they're always doing some charitable stuff, which is really awesome. That was a really cool thing.
Shout out real quick to them for raising the money.
Shout out to the Disco Biscuits. If you don't know who they are, check them out, man. They are
Hell yeah.
great dudes and great people. And I met Mark Brownstein on Jam Cruise, and he's the bass player. He's just a hell of a dude.
Which we talked about last episode, Jam Cruise.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk about that more, because I think that maybe we could do it some more justice, because I think that you talked about it to me with more passion than we had time for last episode.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk
Jam
about,
Cruise.
we'll resurface
You get to hang out with the
that.
artist, which is cool.
Yeah,
I
we'll
mentioned
resurface
that.
that.
We can talk more about that. It
Kind of like
is
Holy Ship.
If you love, is that the EDM version?
Yeah,
pretty much.
it's-
If you love music, I mean, just Jam Cruise will blow
Jam
your
Cruise,
mind.
Holy Ship, depending on what genre of music
There's a
that you're
bunch of
into.
them. I mean, 311 puts on a cruise. Kid Rock puts on a cruise.
Get out
I'm
of
sure
Dodge.
that needs to be. I'm
Oh,
sure that's about
boy.
to be shut down.
I got some
Which I don't. I
friends-
think Kid Rock cruise should probably be shut down.
I got some friends from Michigan that are huge Kid Rock fans. That's where
I'm
he
sure
comes
they've
from,
been on
you
the
know?
cruise.
Oh, they might. He's a big deal out there.
So shout out to the Disco Biscuits, raising a bunch of money. It was awesome. What I also mentioned, Justice Comes Alive last week, and I did stream that all day yesterday. My girlfriend was probably incredibly bored along with the kids. I just laid on the couch and watched this. It was such an awesome thing. All these artists coming together, and they raised just an ungodly amount of money too. That wasn't on my list. I just wanted to shout that out.
Which one was
you
that
could
again, Nick? I'm
It's
sorry.
called Justice Comes Alive. You could still restream that too. That was a live stream yesterday. You can still restream that too. You saw Galactic, you saw Lettuce, you saw Turquoise. A couple bands made original songs just for, just for the moment. They interviewed a bunch of really predominant black artists and talked about how they grew up, the hardships. It was just such an awesome thing. A lot different than what I thought it was going to be. So I could not stop watching it. And you guys can check that out, restream that. That was not on my list. But guys, I don't know if you checked out the BET Awards last night. I don't know how many people watch that anymore, but Public Enemy. We talked about them last week with Steve Ewing, one of the wildest shows. They reunited.
Very cool.
Chuck D and Flava Flav.
Flava
Flav. He's back, man.
He downgraded his clock.
Yeah, the clock's not as big. It's
It's because he's getting older. He can't handle that on his
Gotta
back.
be heavy.
he's matured, and that's the thing. It's probably the old ones were plastic, so this one looks gold and it's probably heavier. His neck's
Shout
little
out,
neck
to,
supportive.
shout out to Steve Ewing again for talking to
Yeah,
us.
that
thank
was
you,
a lot of
Steve.
fun. Thanks to Steve
Very
Ewing.
cool.
It was a lot of fun.
He's such
Yeah.
a good dude.
Really good dude. If you guys missed out on that, that was episode 23. And actually, I guess we'll break the news out about that too. We posted up about our YouTube channel. We're going to be going
Yeah.
through and taking out certain snippets and whatnot of certain things that we've done over the time, and especially with the Steve Ewing interview,
Yeah.
we're going to throw that up there as
You'll
well.
be able
too.
to cut the fluff and get right to the Steve
Get
Ewing
right to
and
the
get
Steve
right to the
Ewing.
meat and potatoes.
All
Right.
killer, no filler.
You got it.
Exactly. That's what we're about here. So check out our YouTube channel if you have
We
not.
got a
The
YouTube
Nameless
channel.
Shameless Podcast on YouTube. Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. Check that out. Everyone has YouTube, so that's a perfect platform. Anyway,
Right.
back to the BET Awards. They played Fight the Power, the classic song. They had Nas on stage, Black Thought from The Roots, YG, a array of guests. Unbelievable. It was really cool. I'm sure you can find that on YouTube.
Was the baby
too.
there?
The baby was at the he wasn't
Yeah, he was.
collaborating. He was
Okay.
there.
He was there. He made a really
All
good
right.
statement
I'm
too.
gonna check it
actually.
out.
Actually, look
I'm
it
gonna
up.
check it out.
The baby made a really strong statement with another performer as well.
Yeah.
That
Well, it
night.
was it was a good
I would
good
imagine.
show, and timely. We need that, and
Yeah, he did
their voices need to
Rockstar.
be heard. Yeah. I think I saw him perform. I didn't
Okay,
see what
cool.
it was.
Got it.
Yeah.
But that was really cool to see Public Enemy come back, especially just after hearing Steve talk last
Oh,
week
yeah.
about the wildest show they ever had.
One of
And I
his
can
wildest
imagine
shows.
Urge and Public Enemy, like, get the hell out of here.
Very cool.
Blow the roof off any joint.
Said it was a weird group, man. You'd think that they'd come together as one, but maybe it was just kind of
It
an
was a
odd group
little-
to have at the
yeah.
time.
yeah,
you know?
sure.
That's funny. I would have loved to have been there.
I mean, can you just imagine? Unbelievable. So I had a friend that went to this past weekend. It was called Beanstalk, another thing I've shouted out in previous shows. It was another drive-in concert. They sold it out. I mean, these drive-in concerts, man, are fun. Magic Beans is the band. They're from Colorado. They had a couple really good bands. Cycles, Kitchen Dwellers, all these really good bands. They were there. They were on stage. There was a stage. They were playing in front of the cars. They were also simulcast to the screen. So it's just like it's a concert. You're just in your car. One review I had from him, he says it's just kind of it lacks the bass. It lacks like the feeling to it because you're just listening to it through your car
FM,
speakers. You
right.
know.
Well,
I mean-
FM's not good quality. I mean, it's good quality, but it's not like stereo. I guess it'd be stereo.
Take for example, I mean, I go to with my buddy to and his dad, who's a huge AC/DC fan, right? Go to an AC/DC show, you get out of there, you go to the right place. You're not hearing right for like 3 days.
it blows your
Like they
ears.
play so loud, it's incredible. It was a great show. To not have that feeling as you're at the show and there to listen to that band that you're really into, it does take a little bit away from it.
Unless you got maybe some subwoofers in your car or something, you got a nice sound system going on.
Maybe you
and
set up for everyone in there.
Yeah,
There you go.
I mean,
I'll elaborate
the
on
hatch
that.
and-
So techno music, I mean, when you go into a techno show and you're at a club like with a Void sound system, like those DJs work around those sound systems, so those vibrations are a big part of the show, like bass
No doubt.
nectar.
Yeah,
So like
no
to
doubt.
not feel that, like the pageant, I saw bass nectar. Wow, I was like at the bar
you feel
rattling.
it.
I'm like, holy cow!
you
People
feel
want to
that.
get to the front, right? Because they want to feel it. They want to feel the
wanna
speakers and the
rails.
vibration.
Yeah, it's called rail grind.
I saw Motorhead at Pops, and it felt like the walls were just like
Damn, you're
Yeah.
badass.
vibrating,
Mark.
dude.
So
I
yeah,
love-
it's
I'm a
a,
metal guy. I love the old school stuff too. I was
Yeah.
a big Motorhead fan. So
Oh, yeah.
it's a little
rest
weaker.
in peace, Lemmy.
Little weaker coming out of your 2010 Mazda with your blown ass speakers. So, but
So you're saying is if you go to a drive-in concert, make sure you bring a vehicle that will
yeah, you
facilitate.
got a sound system, you
Yeah.
got some bass, you got some feeling in that sound system in your car. Bring that. That
Hell
definitely
yeah.
will add to the experience. Still, they're so much fun. It's like a tailgate concert. Who doesn't want to combine a tailgate and a concert like all the time? Be outside,
There you go.
be with people.
Hell yeah.
It's cool. So that went off this weekend. 380 vehicles they allowed to come in, so it was sold out. So it's not too many. I'm pretty sure it was a big thing. They actually announced they're doing it again at the drive-in Part Dude Beanstalk,
you-
July 17th through 18th.
Hot
Could
shots,
you imagine
Hot
if,
Shots Part Dude.
Hey,
Yeah.
could you imagine if they were like trying to maximize like location? You get walked up, you're there by yourself, like, hey man, we're gonna throw 3 people in your car if that's cool.
I mean, it's,
Like a movie theater. Like, hey, can you scoot down in the aisle, please, sir? We're trying to get more people in. Like you're sitting there,
I
you
need a
pay for a
miracle.
ticket, you
Yeah,
have no
really.
one in your car, and next thing you know, there's people walking up like, sir, do you mind if these people go in? Like, yes, I mind. They're complete strangers.
yeah, you know,
Put your face mask on.
yeah,
Jump in.
yeah. We need social distance.
But sorry, Nick. Go
But
ahead.
yeah, the second one they announced, they announced it again. This went so well, you know. Son Squabby and friends playing this next one, who is just a sick band I've brought up before. And
Sun Squabby?
check them out.
They're
Yeah,
awesome.
such a good band.
That
They-
sounds like something I'm going to suffer from if I don't wear sunscreen when I go to Florida tomorrow.
you might get Son
Oh my God.
Squabby.
I might get Sun Squabby.
You might.
Squabby.
Oh, watch
They're
out.
actually awesome too. If you guys want to check them out, they've announced a whole summer tour, basically summer virtual tour. Every Thursday they play a show for about the next 4 months. You pay a $50 ticket. You get to see every single show. And if you haven't heard of them, listen to them. You probably dig them. You probably want to
That's not
do that.
bad.
It's
50
really not
bucks.
bad. There's like 15.
No, it's
they
not
play
bad at all.
15 shows. I think they might have already got into it a little bit, but
talking like $3.25 a show.
and you can watch them all Thursdays. They stream them live, and you pay $75. You get a T-shirt with it. Like they got a lot of good plans, and they're yeah, like $3 a show. Come on,
T-shirt.
you get a T-shirt,
Dude,
Does
for
it have the
25
year
bucks.
on it?
And you
I went to
support
Sin Squabby
and it
and all
has
I
the
got
whole
was a
tour
Stan
on
t-shirt.
it. It has the tour. You know, who doesn't want to forget about these socially distanced
yeah.
tours, right?
Right.
Went to see Sun Squabby, got Sun Squabbied. Sounds like a Rick and
gotta
Morty
live with
statement.
the
shirt
Sun
says.
Squabby.
That's what the shirt says.
You know, I'm recovering.
Sounds like a Rick and Morty statement.
Since I'm the Mr. Docs, apparently self-proclaimed Mr. Docs, or actually Jimmy, thank you for that.
Looking forward to this, by the way.
There's a good documentary out. It's Shannon Hoon from Blind Melon. I don't know if you know his story. I'm sure you do if you're a kid of the 90s. Blind Melon. He apparently recorded an entire 5-year period of his life from 1990 to 1995 up until literally the day he overdosed on cocaine and passed away tragically.
You overdosed on cocaine?
Cocaine overdose was the final
Party.
thing there. So Shannon Hoon, Blind Melon, and the All I Can Say documentary is out. It's not really out on anything. You have to kind of go to
It's on Relix.
go to Relics, and
Relics.
there's a link to it, and it takes you just to like the independent movie producer's website, and you just pay like $11. You run it for 3 days, and check the trailer out. It's really interesting. Really, really interesting. He goes through, so much stuff. The birth of his kid. It's about addiction. It's about mental health. It's about everything. Everything. You can get into this guy's crazy mind. He was an actual genius too, and incredible lyricist, incredible songwriter, and
I like some Blind Melon.
Blind Melon was great.
All
man.
I can say.
I'll say too, like with some of these documentaries too, like I watched a really good one on Kurt Cobain not too long ago too. That was, I think there's been multiple on him, but it was one of the newer ones that they did as
The
well
one that
too.
Courtney killed him.
No, that wasn't.
Oh my god.
That actually wasn't in this one, Nick. But
It's conspiracy theory.
But no, those are really, really good stories. Whenever they have a lot of this footage, and it almost like lets you kind of relive a little bit of what they went through at that time of their stardom.
He literally recorded every part of his life for 5 years. So they got the footage now, and they've been trying to do it. They've been trying to release this for a long time through Kickstarters and stuff, and finally they've done it. They've done it. It's out there. I suggest everyone check it out. Check out the trailer if you like it. Pay $11, rent it for 3 days. It's well worth it.
Hell yeah.
Cool. There's that. I just got a couple live streams. Nothing really worth breaking out the music to today. I'm not gonna
Nothing.
lie.
You're not gonna break out the Stone Cold.
No, just
Stone
your phone
Cold
dead?
picks of the week.
No, if I had some
Casual
stronger,
day.
if I had some stronger picks, I'd really get you the Stone Cold
In a
picks,
world
but
where Nick didn't bring music.
I have it. Like I said, I just choose not to use it right now.
We'll get
just
you a sound
because.
effect soon.
Couple good things though. Couple good things.
Nick's
Yeah, it'd be
Stone
better
Cold
if you could hit it for me.
You said you didn't bring sound effects.
I ruined the show.
I had to do it.
All right, we'll be
all right.
back after this moment from our sponsors.
Ruined the show. Okay, anyway. Well, I don't know if you guys remember the Fare Thee Well Grateful Dead tour that happened about 5 years ago, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 2015. But it was the last time ever in history the Grateful Dead performed as a band, which is the original Grateful Dead, as I say, without, of course, all the ones that have passed away. But
I
it was
remember that.
Bob Weir,
I was
Phil
there.
Lesh.
July 4th.
I was not. I was in Florida.
Chicago?
Chicago, yeah. It was
Wait,
awesome.
So you were there. That's awesome.
It was packed. The most people ever at Soldier Field.
I mean, it's the last time the Grateful Dead's ever going to play together as the original four, which is Mickey Hart, Bill Kreutzmann, Phil Lesh, Bob Weir, and then they had Trey Anastasio played with them. So many great players were with them. It's really cool. They're rebroadcasting the entire weekend for free on July 5th on fans.com. If you're bored 4th of July weekend, just blowing shit up.
So in case you didn't pay hundreds of dollars to go and see them at Soldier Field,
now 5 years later, you can just check it out on the
now,
live stream.
On a live stream.
And we watched the live stream too, and it was really neat. I mean, just the way they did it, the way that it was produced, and it was really neat,
was
crisp,
amazing
really crisp
show.
and clean. Sounded really well through the TV. Bruce Hornsby, Jeff Chimenti, they were also on stage playing with the Dead. So this was the final weekend the Grateful Dead will ever play together. They're restreaming it, and check it
It's
out.
probably a hell of a show.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hell
I
of
got
a show.
poster.
Sounds pretty
Yeah,
good.
you were there
In a hoodie. I got a
mean,
poster and a hoodie.
So awesome. Such a good moment in time, and relive that. And my final pick here will be Willie Nelson's
Hell
4th
yeah.
of July picnic, baby. Virtual lineup.
Baby.
Come on, you got
Baby,
that
come on
4th
now.
of July picnic. Come on now.
Dude, so hold on real quick before you go to this famous Willie quote from a movie. Go. Give me the one you can immediately think
I
I'm
of.
not
can't
the
even-
best movie quoter. You obviously have one in your
can't
mind.
even think of
Dude,
one.
Oh my
Think of
gosh, are you kidding me?
Give me one. Give me two.
In Half Baked, he does. I remember when a dime bag used to cost a dime. He goes,
yeah.
you remember how much condoms used to cost? He goes, how much? He goes, I don't know. We didn't use it.
Yeah,
Those are the funniest lines
course.
from Half Baked, which that's another story we could talk about how they came up with that movie. Like, that was like, I think Dave Chappelle joked with someone and said, oh yeah, I've got this movie I want to do.
Oh, Neil Brennan.
And then he called Neil and was like, hey, we have to do this movie.
Yeah, they just like were joking around.
And no one knew
Now it's-
Neil Brennan had anything to do with it until he had a stand up. I mean, he was in the credits and stuff, but he actually came out because he had social anxiety and he talks about it in his stand up.
Well, Neil was also in a lot of, not a lot,
he
but some
wrote
of
the
the
Dave
skits
Chappelle-
and the
yeah,
Dave
he wrote
Chappelle
so
stuff.
They wrote
many.
most of it. They
They're
wrote
good
it together.
friends. Yeah, but sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
No, you're fine,
That's what that
man.
reminds me of
I
with
just
the Willie.
wanted to announce Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic, man. Y'all can't miss this. You got Cheryl Crow. You got
Gotta
Margot
be there.
Price. You got Ziggy Marley, which adds a little reggae
like
flavor
it.
into the
I like
mix.
Jaman.
You know, Willie smoking weed, reggae, hand in hand. Ziggy Marley, Willie Nelson, the Marleys, hand in hand. Anyway,
I've hung out with the Whalers before.
Have you?
That's
yeah,
a Grateful Dead
I've
farm
seen them
in
here
Tennessee.
for sure a couple times. It's not even here.
Nope, it was in Tennessee.
Look at
the
you,
Terrapin property.
Getting around there. Well, July 4th.
Call me up.
Well, you're a music whore. I don't know.
Like to get around.
am a music whore.
What are you doing later?
Not bad. Not a bad thing.
I'm carrying Mark to his car after he finishes his 3 beers.
You think
Is that what
three's
you're
gonna put
asking
me
me?
down?
That
Hell
Come
no,
on
man.
now.
That's nothing.
You saw that sandwich. It's going to soak up quite a bit.
What do you mean the fries?
the catfish po' boy.
The catfish po' boy.
Sorry, Nick.
Anyway, y'all, check this out. Check out Willie Nelson's 4th of July extravaganza starting at 3:30 Central, July 4th. Even that, blow some stuff up, stream this, turn it up loud. Shaky Graves is also playing. Kurt Vile. I mean, a lot of really good players are out there, too. A lot of bluegrass, a lot of country.
Sounds like a good
A lot
show.
of Americana, a lot of folk. You're going to hear it.
Johnny Bush.
You're going to love it. Lucas Nelson, who's Willie Nelson's son, I believe.
Does he know that?
Does he know that?
Well, he claims to be Willie's son.
Hey, we got the
No.
same last name.
Nelson is a
I think you're my
general name. I think.
Nah.
I don't remember.
So, you
I don't
know,
think so.
y'all check that out. I think there might be a fee to that. Look into that. I mean, it's confusing. Look into it.
It's confusing.
There's a link in the comments.
Link in the comments. Willie Nelson 4th of July.
Do some homework. We can only do so much for you guys.
Check it out, man. Check it out. 4th of
Worth a
July.
Google.
You're probably busy
Hey,
anyway.
Speaking of check it out, make sure you check out our YouTube channel that we just made yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And
It's
make
been
sure
made
to
for a while. We're
subscribe.
just putting the content
Yeah,
in.
we got our website up. We have a little homepage or a splash page for our website. We've got a YouTube channel now, so we're having a lot of fun. So if
Man.
you want to make sure to check out some of our new content as it comes out, please make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
And check out Twitter, too, because, you know, it's booming on Twitter. You guys got to really
Just-
look into our Twitter content at the Name Shame Pod.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. Nick is trying to get that stirred up. We have got to get something going there.
It is blowing up, guys. I'm
No
telling
one's on
you,
Twitter.
Blowing
you won't
up.
believe what you see on this
Check-
on our Twitter. It's crazy.
Check out the
All you
banner
gotta do
below.
is follow.
Check out the banner below. It has our Instagram and our
Yeah.
Twitter. And for the love of God, please, for Nick,
follow me.
follow for Twitter. Because
Get on Twitter and follow
we
us.
gave him that responsibility.
And it's the worst one.
What's a Twitter?
Exactly.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Well,
Love you guys.
guys, thank you for joining us so much. I guess, Nick, do you have any more news?
Music news?
Music news.
That's it. It's the end of the music. I'm sorry I didn't have the song to play me out, but
It's okay. It's all right. One of these times we're going to do like a What's Up With That bit, and you're going to be Lindsey Buckingham. And
What up with that?
we're gonna do the whole show and just run out of time and not have time to do yours. And you have to be like,
Yeah, come on, guy.
But no, guys, let's talk about
news
some stuff that's going on in the
BRB.
news here. Nick, go ahead and take your quick break for a second. I know, drinking
right.
your water over there, you're gonna probably get up 2 more times.
All right, he's gone. Let's talk about him.
All right, so now that Nick's gone, here's the brass tacks of things. No,
He has
a cool
one
guy.
shoe on.
Yeah,
Might I add, there's hardly any water gone.
Yeah.
So this could be a long night.
It might be. It might be. But let's talk about a couple of things while Nick's gone besides Nick. All right, so there's some crazy
Let's
things
keep
going
talking
on.
about Nick.
You guys want to keep talking about
We can
Nick?
talk about his shirt. That was cool. The Dustin
like-
tie dye.
I mean,
He's a walking, talking visual.
The tie dye is cool. I think his shirt last week was cooler because it was the Chris Duncan shirt. I think you
I
called
did
that
like
out,
the Chris
or
Duncan
maybe
shirt.
even I think Mike Wagner or somebody
Yeah,
in the
I think
comments
he
actually
did.
posted that out as well too. But yeah, we like Nick's shirts every time that he comes on. I wore my
Oh wait, here it comes.
today, Junior.
love that. Classic.
No, we were just having a moment for Nick there. There we are. Now Nick's back.
You
Now
went
we
and
can
swapped
continue.
underwear.
Guys, I'm sorry.
He's
I
good.
just one pee break over show now. I
Bring
promise.
mine the next time you come back.
Well, hey, let's talk about this real quick. This is important. All right, you guys know we're going through a hell of a year here.
Yes.
All right, 2020.
Oh God.
It is the year of COVID-19. Okay, it is the year of murder hornets. Okay, and it is now the year of the Saharan dust plume. Okay,
gosh
that
dang
is
dust
just
plume.
withering in the sky. That's going to come and get us all, like the 5G.
Oh, that's stuff's real.
I heard that the 5G magnets brought the dust plume to the
that what
United
it is?
States. That's what I just.
that what it
just
is?
You
heard.
heard, I know.
If
My
we-
friend's a Facebook doctor, and he told me.
Boomer told me.
So, guys, watch out. I mean, honestly, murder hornets are serious. So is COVID.
Have those
Don't take
came?
it as
I
a
haven't
joke.
even heard
Have the
anything
murder
Do not.
about
hornets? That could have been just
The
media.
last time I
fake
really heard
news.
of him was when that praying mantis ripped one to shreds, and I haven't heard. Maybe he
That's-
got them all.
that-
Maybe the praying mantis is
That's
their
good
murder.
social
Where's he
media
at
right
right
there.
now?
Yeah.
Murdered the murder hornets.
I don't know. It's the hero we needed.
But guys, hey, let's talk about a couple. I'd say there's some crazy stuff going on in our city right now. Let's switch gears here for a second. So, in the most recent news, this is one of the biggest one I think that's local. That's not just local in the news; it's like everywhere. So, we have a man, Mark McCluskey. Nick, me and you immediately talked about that. Everybody, I think, sent this over in our group because
Dude
him
likes
and
to
his
party.
him and his wife.
Good old
if
Mark
you
and
guys
his
have
wife.
seen. They're from the Central Weston. They live on private property that is a gated community, I believe. And he just talked to Channel 5 for the first time, giving his side of the story. He's holding an AR-15, and his wife is holding a gun, which, honestly, if you see the picture of it,
with her finger on the trigger and just waving.
She
it kind of
clearly
around,
doesn't
like,
know how to use
scary.
it, but yes. So we want to talk about the things that are right and the things that are wrong about everything that happened here. Okay? So, Nick, I want to start off with you.
Oh, boy.
So I know, just let's hear it, man.
Let's do it.
So, what are your feelings on this? Because obviously there's examples of absolutely what you should and should not do in this, and I think that we should point some of these out because we live in a crazy time right now.
You know, ultimately, why this happened. There's a good reason why this happened. I understand the destruction of property. I guess they ripped a gate down. I honestly feel like, though, if the only destruction of property during the protest yesterday was ripping a gate down, that was fixed today. I saw in the news and chained up. I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. The only thing they actually tore up. This protest was put on by the same people who put on the protests, the peaceful protesters. Expect us. They put this on. They were live streaming. They live streamed these two. Like I saw them yesterday, like while it was happening. It's just shocking to see like a guy come out with an AR,
Absolutely.
like just pointing, waving him at people. It's
and his wife,
very
who clearly
casual
doesn't
about
know how to handle a weapon.
that's the scary
holding a
seeing
gun.
her
That's
finger on the
you're
trigger,
right.
the way she's holding that gun. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
Got a hand on her
that's
hip,
scary.
the gun in the other hand.
Like that's just intimidation factor, and I get it. And like I said, there was a reason that this happened. They were going to the mayor's house, Lyda Crewson, who made a really big mistake.
I mean, and just to make sure this is clear, these people were protesting and marching to the mayor's house because of the information that she had released of one upon a minor,
Yeah.
but not that,
Numerous-
but around numerous other people as well,
addresses
too.
and phone numbers and names.
She
So-
deleted it 3 hours later, too.
So she did.
It lives
she
in
did.
infamy. It's still up. People
I know.
screenshot it.
So-
It's the internet. Forever.
So
She messed up. I mean,
that's what you kind of think. You're thinking about that. So your statement is. Do you have anything more you want to add on to that?
I just know. So the destruction of property and the trespassing was. I mean, they're not.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is your biggest problem is the way that they're handling guns towards
Oh,
protesters.
just these people, two
Yes.
people in
Right.
particular.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like you walk out of you two white lawyers walk out of their mansion with guns pointed at protesters. I mean, that's kind of like the epitome of
Yeah.
white privilege,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
because to
if you
be
really think
clear
about
with
it.
people that are watching too, that we're not determining a right and a wrong here. We want to
No.
bring up some key points here because these are our opinions.
now,
But-
looters
we all have
coming through
opinions.
at
Now, hold on.
night.
We'll get to you.
Yeah,
We'll get
yeah.
to you, Boomer. You wait your damn turn.
I got my hand up.
But Mark, Nick, do you have anything else you want to say?
You
on
know, I don't want to get too deep into it because, like we all agree to disagree sometimes, but that I do.
Nick ain't no snowflake.
that? All right.
The march to the mayor's house to me was justified because she messed up, man.
Okay.
She
All right.
messed up.
Mark, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't think that was necessary to come out with an
Okay.
assault rifle.
Yeah.
I think there is a way to not do something like that. I know it got a little out of hand,
Sure.
but maybe I'm just a little more understanding of what was going on.
Yeah.
And you got two people, who knows if they're on edge or what's going on in their life, and they just are like, I've had it with this stuff, and they go grab
Sure.
a gun without
Sure.
real thought
Right.
of what they're actually doing.
Right.
I think it's a little much
Okay.
for them to do that.
You
But
think it's a little much?
it's a little much for me.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think it really.
Boomer,
needed
what
to
are
be
your
that
thoughts
way.
on this?
So first off, I don't like the fact that the title has nothing to do with, the title and the subtitle has nothing to do with them being on their property. If they're on their property and they feel in danger, yeah. But get your gun out. But like you said earlier, and I don't mean to steal your point, and you might be talking about this, but would you be out front or would you be inside your window?
Yeah, and which also Jeff Rickerman actually just made the same point. It says, stay in your home with
Yeah.
your guns ready if you
Right.
need them. Don't go outside ever.
And they clearly knew they were going to be
Intimidating.
videotaped.
So
They're
here's-
just intimidating.
They totally knew they're going to be pictured, like videotaped. But that's
Everyone's
like-
on videotape.
Well, that's
these
like the
days,
guy in
y'all.
Atlanta too. It's like a black man killed by
But
police.
real
it's
quick,
like
before we get on to that, as far as that goes,
The
the
title.
topic here is
the title makes me
what
mad.
I'm asking you is what is your thoughts on the aspect of what's right and what's wrong with this particular scenario?
If I'm on my property and people are breaking things down and coming on the property, I feel like you have a right to defend yourself if you feel like you're in trouble.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's during the day. They're peaceful protesters. Now breaking down the fence, that's not cool.
Sure.
But they're within their legal rights, right? They didn't do
They
that for illegal.
they 100% didn't shoot anyone, and they
I don't
can
agree
own
with it
those
though.
guns. Yeah, sure.
But I'd be inside, like you said,
Exactly.
pointing it too. Like that's different than holding it.
Yeah.
Pointing it and
Now-
holding it are two different things.
Now, here's the thing. Obviously, we see the pictures. There was videos that were posted, so we don't have all of the details. The guy, obviously, during his interview, which I watched for a little bit, was saying that whenever he obviously is out there, which those guns will escalate the situation to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
So, and then that's could be
Right.
why then the people started threatening them. But apparently, they were saying that there was other people there that were armed and that were threatening to not only harm them but their pets and then also their property. Now, here's my problem with it. I'm not saying that these people are right for what they did, because I do absolutely 100 agree with you, Nick. No one should be handling a gun like that. No one should be handling a gun like that with their finger on the trigger
Right.
and not knowing how to handle it, because she clearly doesn't. Right now, the AR-15 and stuff, that's too much. But you have to look at a couple key points here, because I asked you guys what you would do in this situation when you live in a private establishment that's a gated community. It sounds like that they break through the gate in order to try to get to the mayor's home. And then these people felt threatened and then went and got their guns and then protect themselves. Now, I agree with Jeff and I agree with you. I don't think that they should have ever left their house.
I
I
would've
don't
stayed
think that the
inside.
peaceful protesters would have even approached their house.
Yeah.
But you have to think, though, as a peaceful protest, did it go from peaceful to non-peaceful whenever they broke through the gate of a private residence and then decided to trespass on the private property?
That would be an opinion.
Because now they're breaking the law. Normally, peaceful protesting will gather in a public place, and they'll go to a centralized location where they can share their words about the situation and protest about
they
it.
could have asked, "Can we go through your property?" I mean, but they didn't. They just broke the fence down.
Clearly, I guarantee you that the mayor would not have given them permission.
Oh
to
no,
come
for sure. But
Okay.
they could have asked.
because we know why. Obviously, they were marching through there. So I'm going to end this with saying I don't think that these people were wrong for reacting. I think they reacted the wrong way,
Correct.
and I think they could have stayed in their house, and I think that they could have not wielded weapons towards protesters. But I also don't think that the protesters were anywhere in the right by breaking down through a gate and entering private property, thinking that something like this wouldn't be a potential scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even if
and you
someone's
can
walking
agree to
on the street.
disagree, right?
Sure.
I'm just saying. It's just that I know as a human being, if I am going to with a large group of people and I'm not from that area, and we are demolishing and breaking property, and then going someplace where we're rightfully not supposed to be, we're now breaking
so
the
much
law.
worse. Sounds so much
taking
worse than
a-
breaking down a gate.
You're taking a risk.
But yeah, true.
But these are people's homes, and their
Yes.
loved ones live there. Their personal goods are there. It's a very rich neighborhood, which
They didn't
that's
get
besides
arrested.
the
They were
point.
within their legal
They were within
rights.
their legal rights.
When it comes down to it, they were within their
If,
legal.
you know,
How about this? How about
That was
this?
legal
Let's say they're
move.
walking down the street and they're not on a private residency and they have their guns in their hands. That's legal. But when you start pointing, that is aggravated assault.
But
For the record, and it's not what happened here. That happened in another state with another guy. He was in
Sure.
a protest on a public street. He actually pointed and he got charged with like 3 felony counts for
yeah,
aggravated assault.
now state to state laws and stuff like that are differ as well. And in this case too, the fact that they have pointing guns at people were obviously saying, and then potentially pointing a gun back at them as well.
yeah.
There's no
So-
video of that, but also
No video of
the
that, but
videos
there's-
were on them.
right.
I mean,
So,
you never know.
Who
Could
knows?
have been
But
embellishment. We don't know.
We weren't there.
We don't know.
That's
We
a
weren't
that's
there.
a controversial statement that
Very
we're gonna have for the
controversial.
night.
Agreed.
Well, I think we need to talk about it, because to tell you the truth, I don't think these people's lives should be ruined for what they did. I think that maybe it should be out there, but I don't, you're gonna see this as a meme. I've already seen like
gonna
him
be
as Joker
everywhere.
and her as Harley Quinn. I'm not gonna lie to you, like the hair was dyed and
People
face.
put Carol Baskin question mark.
Oh
with her.
yeah, she does look
my
like Carol
God.
A
Baskin.
little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I wish I could see your face.
Yeah.
I bet you
Cut
no one
off,
goes
but-
through their yard again or goes right by there again.
Probably not.
Well, let's
Man, he
jump. Let's
looks
jump
ready
over to
to go,
something
though,
else
in
here, real
that.
quick.
Dude.
Oh,
They-
he was.
I mean-
his veins were popping, dude. He was holding that.
He just
thing.
got done watching Rambo.
he had like the whole sleeve of bullets. Like he was
crazy.
ready, and she's just like,
Yeah. She would have hit herself in the face holding the gun like that.
Yeah, it would have flew out of her hand. She clearly doesn't know what she was doing.
Anyway, I do like what that, what Expect Us is doing though. Minus the, I guess,
Yeah,
minus the vandalism and the knocking down of the gate,
sure.
and
I
whatever. but
understand the cause.
they're not, and it's peaceful protesting, but they don't want to be peaceful. They've been peaceful for too damn long. Right now, it's time to kind of disrupt some shit and kind of really, start a kind of a revolution. Like
But
they're
that's-
not doing it in the wrong way. The loot that's different than looters. Like the looters are obviously doing wrong. That's
Yes.
kind of
Do you
stopping.
think
But
they know the
here's the thing.
difference?
I'm going to tell you right now
These two people.
that
No.
right now,
And that's why that's happening.
and this is, and the only thing that I'll challenge that is that this group that has been peaceful protesting up until this point, to them demolishing a gate and trying to do it, I understand their cause, but they broke the law doing what they were trying to do, and then this rose out of it because of a stupid media scene of them having them on camera doing it. And like I said, no one got arrested for it because they're within their rights to do this.
Right.
So I wish that the peaceful protesters would do exactly what they are, because when you're a peaceful protesting group, you're not tearing down gates and marching through private property and then potentially scaring people to come out with guns to get to the mayor's house. You go to City Hall, you go down to a place and you occupy and not demolish, but you make travel and stuff hard down there. You do things like that, right? That's the protesting that is peaceful protesting. So I don't know. It's a touchy subject
I'm
for
mad
sure.
at the title.
Yeah, a white couple pointed guns at Black Lives Matter protesters in St. Louis. I don't think that's. I mean, they obviously pointed guns at them.
How about couple defends property or defends themselves on private property, not this
Yeah.
where it grab
Well,
your
this is also a Vice article, so I'm sure there is an article a headline out there that says that.
But this points out
this
a
is
big
from Vice,
problem,
too.
though. This
Shout
points
to
out a big
Vice.
problem, that is, because I'm not saying there's not. There's a huge problem that we have right now in this world. But there's also a media problem.
Yes,
and it's not just with this types of things, but with them misappropriating the way that stories are presented and then having them seen as being a sign of hate or a sign of a mongering of some sort. Right? I hate it.
Yeah, we're in touchy times, touchy subjects. Let's you want to. What are you thinking now? You want to transition to something a little lighter since we just hit something real heavy?
I got one more real heavy thing.
Talking about
Just real
guns.
quick.
All right, let's while we're in it.
One more. I mean, while we're at it,
we're
I'm
at
just
it, let's
saying,
do it.
because like, I don't know about you guys, but when we sit down, we do a lot of research for this. I'm digging through the internet. I'm looking through certain local news stations and stuff to see what's going on. And I mean, there's a serious crime problem. There's gun crime that
really
we have
bad.
that is really,
Rampant.
really bad right now. It's
Yeah.
terrible in Chicago, as we talked about.
Yeah.
It's terrible here in St. Louis. I look to try to find positive news, and I have to literally skip through pages of people getting shot and some injured and some murdered. And it's more of a common thing now than it's been in the past, I feel like.
Wasn't there a shooting where there were 3 toddlers in the car in St. Louis, or was that Chicago as well?
There was one kid that just passed away that was sleeping and accidentally a stray bullet shot him in the face.
Wow.
It's terrible. Like, these stories are absolutely terrible. We just lost Huey, right? Pop, lock, and drop it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Showbiz Chuck E. Cheese figures that they reprogrammed to sing
Oh, God.
Pop, Lock, and Drop
No.
It?
The Rocket Fire Express?
But here's the thing. So
Rocket Fire Express?
that's on a lighter note, but the serious note is here is that, like, we had a local rapper, Huey, that was known, at least probably around here, to some
huge
of
at
us.
one point.
Huge at one point
He
with
used
this
to-
big hit that he
used to
had.
play that all the time.
And then he's found shot, and then I think someone else he was with was also shot and either
Kinlock.
killed or on the Kinlock, right? So it's terrible. I mean, what's going on in the world today? Like, what is so bad that people are having to take people's lives?
We're
over
just
it?
We're just for the first move is shoot a gun.
We watched
Yep.
too many
There's no fist fights anymore. It's just
No.
the first move. If I have a gun,
video
I'm
games.
shooting it.
Video games.
Yeah,
Maybe people. Yeah, maybe Call of Duty becomes real life to some people.
yeah.
No?
We have St. Louis police and firefighters are actually getting a one-time $1,000 bonus
Good.
coming up. I think that's well needed.
Well
I think with
needed.
the overtime that they've been working, I think on top of
agree.
that, Nick, you said it best earlier that the police, firefighters, and teachers are probably the 3 most
Throw teachers
underpaid
in that mix,
professions.
no doubt.
Yep.
And it's absolutely ridiculous. So here's what I'll say. Congratulations to the police officers and the firefighters for getting your $1,000 bonus. I think you guys are getting shortchanged.
Yeah. Should get
I
more.
think you're underpaid, and I think that is kind of a slap in the face as far as a bonus whenever it comes to things. But I know you'll take it because it's
Yep.
better than what they've been giving you.
Right.
But I hope with the conversations and the talks that you guys have that they can come around to giving you guys more money, because I'm telling you now that's
Especially
they need-
around
they
That's,
need that.
that's military first responders and frontline workers, correct?
That was
That are getting $1,000.
I believe it's I didn't hear military. I heard just the police officers, firefighters, and it's local. It's a
Okay,
local
cool.
thing.
Got
yeah.
it right here.
That is good because these guys have been busting their asses since 2016 now, fighting for, long hours. This
Right.
has been going on
And this
here in
is-
St. Louis since Ferguson. You
Right.
can't forget that. Like,
Right.
This is
Well, you can also look at the first responders of 9/11. Like, some of those people got like lung problems and stuff, and like
They're
they
dying
weren't
of
covered.
cancer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't covered. Like,
Right.
yeah, it's sad, man.
Now, with all the craziness going on too with the protesting, there's a big topic that was brought up as well. They're wanting to remove a statue in Forest Park. It was King Louis IX, I believe it is.
Sure. What we're named after, correct?
Who we are named
Who we're
after.
named
The St.
after.
Louis
St.
is
Louis.
named after St. Louis. People from a point of Catholicism see it as like a saint, so it's something that they don't want to be taken down, but then people are protesting to say to take it down. So what I say is that they also actually threw out as far as going as to renaming the city. So
To what?
could you imagine it being the something something Blues or the something something Cardinals or something other than the St. Louis Blues or Cardinals at this point?
No.
That's what I asked you guys.
And then, like you said, what does that really do?
It's just a label.
What does that do? What are you fighting for?
Right.
Rename the city? I mean, that
And
what
then
does that do?
In a weird sense too. Are you really wanting to erase it history? Like,
Man,
are you?
I don't.
I mean, it's a touchy subject, but are you?
I
wanting
can't.
to-
I can't speak on St. Louis the Ninth and that much because I haven't done too much research on him. I'm sure he owned slaves or whatever other. I don't know what happened. I don't know what his deal is. but-
I'll throw this out there. If there is a blatantly, and I mean a blatantly offensive statue or sign that's out there that needs to be taken down,
Pull that shit down.
then let's pull that shit down. But I'm going to tell you that there's certain things that don't need to be pulled
like
down.
Ulysses S. Grant, which like helped free slaves.
I mean,
and, like Abraham Lincoln's like got one tore down.
I think we're just in pull down mode right now.
We
to
are.
pull everything down.
But where do we draw the line?
Start fresh. I think. People
Where do we draw
are
it?
thinking.
Apparently now everything is offensive in 2020.
Oh,
Yep.
Jesus, people are just so damn offended
true.
by everything.
And didn't Trump sign an executive order to protect statues or something like that?
I
too?
don't even know.
Probably.
We don't care about what he does really.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Probably.
I don't. It's just hard to keep up. It's just a social media thing with him. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
Sounds like
can
something
someone
he'd
take
waste
his
his
damn
time on.
phone away for Christ's sake?
Statues.
We could be using our time more wisely than feeding into it.
This is true. This is true.
Try to
but
get him
but
on
I'll
Twitter.
say renaming the city. Renaming the city sounds like some BS. Removing statues
Yeah.
from Forest Park. I mean, if it's something that is a blatant sign of hate, I get it. But if it's something that obviously is not in any way, shape, or form hurting anything and is not a sign of hate, then people need to stop letting their feelings get hurt because it's only going to bother you if you let it get to you.
Yeah.
And
A lot of feelings out there right
There
now.
is. There is.
An overload of emotions and
Yeah.
feelings right now.
There's a whole lot.
Not everyone's are in check.
They're not. And I think that shows with what's going on in the economy right now. With
And
people,
yeah,
the way they're
quarantine,
acting.
mental health. We're some of us.
I think it
are
ties into like
finally
not being
losing
able
our
to
minds.
not being able to leave your house and release that steam too.
Yeah,
Which I
sure.
think that
This
ties
whole
into
thing
it.
has been.
Yep.
We have
Tough on everyone.
we do have another Karen story real quick.
Jesus, the Karens. Holy Christ.
Standing up to a San Diego Karen was the label of this article that I found. Starbucks barista, a guy denied to serve a woman at a Starbucks because she was not wearing a mask. And she pulled her phone out and decided to blast him on the internet like she was, like, this guy won't serve me. And
Like
blah, blah,
she
blah.
was
And
in the right.
like she was in the right. And the guy literally, it turned into a meme. It like immediately went viral. And the guy started a GoFundMe, and he has now to date raised $80,000 off of tips from a GoFundMe.
See, you Karens out there, keep yelling.
quit, did he?
Yeah.
Keep yelling at people
He
and
didn't
get in their
quit, did he?
faces. And
What's that?
He didn't quit, did he?
I don't think he quit. No, I think he just gladly took his $80,000 from
dollar
GoFundMe. Yeah.
bill, y'all.
He's like, yeah, he probably went back to work and was like,
Yeah.
told that
Hey.
bitch she needed a
Hey,
mask.
coffee on me, y'all.
these Karens, I mean,
Seriously.
these Karens are getting out of control. Sorry for any of you really nice ladies out there whose actual name is Karen.
Yeah, we
Like,
love the
you
nice
don't deserve
Karens.
this.
You don't.
What's like
This is-
okay, boomer?
Okay, boomer.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's out of control. It's literally out of control. Every day there's 2 to 3 new Karen. It's not even just a Karen anymore, and they're all getting videotaped, and you're going on blast. Like, just control.
There's a lot of
Deep
new
breath
stuff
in through your
going on.
nose, out through your mouth.
Get out, Karen.
Don't grab that bag of chips and throw it at
It's
the
about how you deal with
workers.
it,
and
you know?
She
quit
just wants to
throwing,
talk
quit
to a
yelling.
manager.
I mean, dude.
Yeah. Real quick, go into our chat here. Mark
disgusting.
Houston said that a white guy was beat up while he was trying to protect that statue. Yeah, there's actually a pretty graphic image of a guy like swinging at him. I didn't like what I was reading
Really?
or what I saw, but that's kind of what we're getting to. It's like, you have to have an understanding of what's going on in the world and just try not to be offended by everything.
Right.
But good call out on that.
tough
That
world.
was a terrible sight to see for sure.
Look, if we couldn't, if offensiveness went away completely, there'd be no comedy anymore.
I was gonna say that
There
too.
wouldn't-
There'd be no
do it.
comedians.
Right.
Comedians would be
Right.
done. They'd be every single joke would be canceled.
And speaking of comedian,
Segue.
you have a nice story about
Oh, geez, this
very
is
nice.
the best thing to come out of the weekend.
Very nice.
I'd say after all this heavy talk here. We've got something hilarious. Sacha Baron Cohen, the man of the weekend. He trolled a far-right racist Nazi rally with a racist sing-along
Oh, it's fantastic.
that all 500 members were happy to engage in unison. It was beautiful. They just sounded beautiful. Bunch of dummies. The March for Our Rights 3. It drew a crowd of 500 at Heritage Park. I didn't see this is in Florida. No, I don't think this is. It was in Olympia, Washington, the state of Washington. So I mean, it's hilarious what he did. There's an interview with the organizers. They said there was a last minute donation, big donation for this thing. Like someone wants to sponsor this, and they're like, okay, we'll take it in. We don't know,
Of course, it's
who
just
it is.
It's
just
a
money.
ruse, right?
Yeah, sure. It was Sacha
To
Baron
get
Cohen.
his line
and
in
his
the
TV show.
bottom line.
Sure. So they hired a whole security team and everything. It was the greatest thing because the promoters wanted to go pull the plug after about 5 minutes of his offensive sing-alongs with all these idiots in the crowd. And the security would not let him around the speaker.
His own security.
His own security blocked the promoters from pulling the plug on him. So it went for a good 10, 12 minutes of him just singing racist songs and these people just loving it, eating up every minute of it. It's disgusting to watch, actually. It's hilarious yet disgusting. But it's mostly hilarious. He's so funny. They pulled him away. There was a lit ambulance, and they said he just got off stage, went right into. They pulled him away.
And then
He was gone for 10 minutes. Yeah. Came back in a different disguise to interview the promoters
that tried to stop him.
It's so unbelievable, the stupidity
He's
that
brilliant.
he just
He's
puts
brilliant.
on blast. Sacha Baron Cohen
All of
is
his
just a damn
characters,
treasure.
All of his characters he portrays to be so stupid. And they're just brilliant in every single way. Like so much thought
From
goes
Ali.
behind
I mean, just from Ali G.
Yeah.
Ali G is awesome.
It's like if you don't know Ali G, you're like, what the hell is this?
If you haven't
But
seen Ali G
friggin'
in the
brilliant.
house, you're definitely doing yourself a disservice.
well, the movie was
That
different.
little yellow car.
Dude, just interviewing
Yes.
the people he interviewed as these
Yeah.
people. Like, come on.
Oh
This
my
guy is
gosh.
a serious genius. This was hilarious. You guys check this out if you haven't seen it yet. It was all over Twitter, which is what I'm on now. And it was just hilarious. So many funny articles, so many interviews with the promoters. Like, whoa, what we do? We didn't start singing racist songs. We were trying to pull the plug. I mean, it was just everyone in there was so dumb. Like,
It's a total comedy, just ruse that he
it
pulled
is.
on.
And he
him.
has a show, and that's why he did this. I
Yeah.
think like he just calls
It's
out
gonna
Americans
pop
for being
out, yeah.
racist.
It's
gonna
gonna
be
show out,
It's gonna
yeah.
be an episode coming up. You know it. And man, shout out to you, Sacha Baron Cohen. You're friggin' hilarious.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Damn.
Well, hey, let me tell you about this. There is some good news too in the St. Louis County region. Increased capacity to 50% in restaurants.
Wow.
So if
50%?
up to 50%. So now you can actually dine in up to 50% capacity in restaurants for the phase that we're currently in. So that's positive news as well too.
It's not going to last.
Also, we have another controversial story I forgot to talk about.
More controversy.
Yeah, but take it how it is. Best Buy, Ford, HP, Adidas, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Honda, all pull ads from Facebook. The groups, the Anti-Defamation League, the NAACP, Sleeping Giants, The Color of Change, Free Press, and Common Sense accuse Facebook of racist, violent, and verifiably false content to run rampant on its platform.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I
see
see it.
You see
I mean,
it.
it's crazy. I got sick from
I don't even have
Facebook
it
for a
and I see
while, but you know, it's the way that we can get out, obviously, to friends and family
really-
and those that are there.
Yeah.
So we're using it. So we're kind of hypocrites saying it, but
Sure, just-
you know, they're doing it for a particular reason. Like I even told, you know, I small talk and I do people's work on people's computers at home. And I tell them like, you know, like, hey, sometimes social media just is not my thing. Like videos pop up that are completely irrelevant to what it is that I'm into, like people getting hurt, fights and stuff. Like I don't want to look at that junk. Like that's just not my thing. You know, and it just gets force fed to you. So you do wonder if whatever their algorithm is of what it is that they're telling that they can or that they cannot actually put on there, right? So, Boomer, you actually have a funny story. Well, not funny, but an interesting story.
So I,
should
can
say
feed
about
into that
this.
in a weird way because, I mean, if Facebook's letting this run rampant, then why can't my company that I run with Ryan McCoy, I work with him. It's called D4. We do projection mapping.
We talked about this.
Yeah, so it was just a simple projection mapping downtown. And it was Black Lives Matter. There was no violence. There was nothing. It was simply
There's
images.
just a
fist.
projection.
Simply images. And like I tried to post it and we talked about this and they had to actually send me a letter in the mail because I'm like, why is this rejected? They go, we need to confirm your identity. So I got this letter in the mail 3 weeks later. I had to put this code in. I go back to boost the post. It got rejected again.
Yeah. Now here's the crazy
It's
thing.
like,
'cause
what?
Facebook
I'm trying to
is-
pay you. Like,
now, let me explain this to people that don't really do a lot of stuff on Facebook. So when you try to boost a post, it's basically you saying, "Hey, I'll spend this much money for you to force feed my ad, my video or whatever it is as an ad to people per day," and it's supposed to see up to so many people
In the
per
news
day,
feed.
right? In the news feed. So if you do boost an ad like that, which I think I did one for our interview to test it out and see how it was with David Howard Thornton, and to tell you the truth, it didn't do as much as I thought it was going to be, right? But the way that they're allowing ads and the way that you used to see ads from people like Best Buy and some of these people that pulled out are because of the fact that other content that they're allowing to be seen is that they're monitoring it. They're not allowing a nice peaceful protest or a projection lighting shot up on a building that supports Black Lives Matters movement. They're denying,
Right.
but yet they're going to go ahead and push through mine because it's with an interview with an actor from a movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there obviously is some sort of way of saying yes, we'll do this, or no, we're not going to do that. But I don't understand, Boomer, how the projection lighting of just spreading awareness to people through a
Doesn't make
projector would get denied on that. So that kind of blows my mind.
Blows my mind, especially after you
agree.
boosted it, right? You
Right.
posted it, they
tried.
pulled it down.
He tried to boost it.
$100.
You boosted
Yeah.
it, and then they pulled it again.
Yeah,
After
it's
you verified
rejected
yourself,
twice.
Facebook is some shady stuff going on. Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, crazy stuff going on.
Well, you can see now the fact checking stuff too that's pulling up on
Yeah.
some posts,
Yeah,
which
sure,
I'm
sure.
okay with. But
That's cool.
I mean, who's
president started
fact
that.
checking?
Yeah. Where do those
Are they
facts come
legit?
from?
Right.
What is a fact?
You wonder.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. This is America.
So hey, we've talked about this a couple times. I just wanted to ask us to have it go around real quick. Jimmy Tracy, if he's tuning in, I know that he's excited that the sports are jumping back into gear, so that way his daughter can play
back.
play goalie. Would you allow your kid to participate in contact sports? Was a poll that they had up on I think Channel 4, Channel 5's website. Nick, would you allow your kids to? Which if you don't have your own children, but would you
have
allow
children.
kids?
So do they contact hockey, football?
That's what it says. Contact sports. I would take that as most sports I would play have contact. So
you
every
contact
sport.
in soccer, you contact
Right.
in other things, right? Well, we
Sure.
are. Then I'd say yes because we are putting the little one in soccer, indoor
Okay.
soccer.
Okay,
She's playing.
nothing wrong with
Coming,
that.
coming back.
Okay.
You know, the kids need to, dude. They've been in the house for too
been
long,
trapped.
dude.
They do.
They need to get back
Get
out.
that energy out.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yep.
It's been too long. Maybe safe or not. Do they play in masks?
That's the
What's
thing.
happening?
So they really don't have a lot. I mean, I haven't seen the rules of what they're mandating or putting in place for that. But no, like the scary thing is with basketball, everyone uses bare hands, and then there's a risk of obviously spreading and touching that there.
Can't play with gloves on. That's
Hockey,
so-
I mean, hockey is one of those ones where you have gloves on, you have equipment, you could wear a face mask, but I don't think they're enforcing face masks whenever they resume as well. So there's that big question. I mean, Jeff Rickerman says, hell no, not yet. I mean, there's some people that think that way. You know, I would think that if I was a parent and I had a kid that was playing a high level sport, that would be a little bit more of a harder decision right now, depending on how they're bringing them back. But if I had a kid that was doing it recreationally, it would just be time to play in the backyard and try to, touch up on some skills and get ready for next season next year.
Yeah.
I think that's how I would look at it too.
Yeah, it's fine too. Kids don't want to practice on their own though.
No?
No. They don't
No.
want to. They
They
don't
don't
want to
wanna kick
practice
off the side
really
of the
hard
house?
unless you are just so dedicated.
You can only
as a
do that
kid.
for so long.
They've got a phone, dude.
Yeah.
They don't want to. They don't want to practice on their own. They want to play the game. They want to practice for 10 minutes before the game. Practicing on their own is unheard of.
Yeah.
Maybe I guess it depends what age you are too. You know, if you're an older kid, middle
If you
school to high
understand
school,
it better, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Well, in other news, Boomer, that you brought up, Apple actually just figured out if you guys are into TikTok.
Listen up, kids.
and have an iPhone.
Nyla.
And if you have an iPhone,
Nyla,
iPhone.
listen
it's
to this.
TikTok is in trouble a little bit with Apple creators or Apple. I'd say what was be the word from engineers found a break in the code that said that TikTok was copying the clipboard.
Yeah, so if you have like a picture on your clipboard or like maybe some like sensitive information, a phone number, an address, TikTok was actually able to access this. And I think it was iOS 14 that they found this on, and there's a patch coming out for it, but that's scary.
That is crazy.
It's scary. Like,
Well, people talk about it whenever like what was it? What we were talking about earlier, Face Swap.
yeah.
When Face Swap came out, like it's a Russian hack and they're trying to steal your pictures and all this stuff, and people are like, yeah, whatever. And then this comes out, and then it's another the Chinese app, I believe it is, right?
It is. It's owned by the Chinese.
So
And India just banned that. What was WhatsApp and what was the other one? You said I don't know if it was Face Swap, but it was another one. They just
Yeah.
banned all these like
Face
Chinese
app
apps
or
and
something
stuff.
like that. It's crazy. So just make sure you know
invasive.
understand what it is that you're agreeing to whenever you download a third party app from
And
got
shut
to.
the app down when you're done too.
Yeah, don't leave it open.
100%.
Right.
Elon Musk is got some news. Nick, he was
at this
trolling
guy.
Jeff Bezos.
Trolling Bezos. Apparently, Amazon acquired their own self-driving taxi company
How original.
for $1.2 billion.
That's kind of nothing to him. He's like,
Pocket change.
Pocket change didn't matter.
you take a check.
Do you think Elon Musk is just more along the lines of saying like, "What the hell, dude? Like, you didn't come through me"?
Well, dude, Elon Musk is
I'm the
he's
plug.
light years,
You know?
like they said, he's light years ahead of anything that Jeff Bezos is in anyway. So that's why he literally tweeted, Jeff Bezos is a copycat, haha."
I mean,
That was an Elon Musk.
well, yeah. I mean, but when it comes down to it, is that if you want to be a copycat and you have the money that Jeff Bezos has,
Yeah.
then it's easy to be a copycat. So is this going to be the company that is going to be the up and coming that's going to rival now Elon Musk? And
Sounds like it's the
maybe
only other one, I guess.
drive the competition in
be
electric
more.
vehicles to lower the price potentially of the Teslas?
That's always good though. Competition.
For
It
sure.
is.
That's
It could
always
bring
good.
it could bring down a little bit of the price, certain here and there.
For sure. I don't think Elon's really worried about it.
And also, he broke into. He said Steve Jobs would be disappointed or something like that too, if he were alive today.
Just trolling, man.
Just
He's
a
just
troll.
trolling.
He's a funny dude. Some of his tweets, you're like,
He's an
wow,
alien.
this guy. I think he is.
Yeah.
What do you think? I think we've determined that.
Check his DNA.
Well, another cool thing too that we always kind of look into, Nick. I think you brought it up, or someone did, the Reunited Apart.
Yeah, we love Reunited Apart. I love Josh Gad. He's an awesome writer. Like I said, for the Washington Post, I think that's where he came from. He's been in tons of plays and on Broadway, and just a funny, good dude. And yeah, he does that series Reunited Apart, and he seems to release a new one every week.
So he's done so far, Boomer. If you could check that out for me real quick.
Yeah.
If I can remember, he's done Lord of the Rings. He's done Harry Potter.
Yep.
Ghostbusters.
He's done Ghostbusters. Now he's just
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
The Goonies.
Really cool.
The Goonies.
Who was Tom Hanks and Daryl? Was it Big?
Yep. Splash.
Big.
Yeah,
Splash.
Splash.
No, he did Splash.
And then the
the new
sixth
one,
one,
Lord of
the
the
newest
Rings.
one, is actually going to be Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's
that's
Day
cool.
Off. Reuniting the
Yeah.
whole cast.
It was actually a really good. I watched a lot of it. It was like 45 minutes long.
Yeah, they're all pretty long, but it's really cool. Some of these people haven't seen each other in a long time.
Yeah, well, Broderick, I think, in that one hadn't
He's
seen
awesome.
the one guy that he was actually coming
best
up
friend.
through. Yeah, like
Cameron?
his best friend Cameron in the show. He hadn't seen him in
awesome.
15 years. And
Yeah,
he
that's
had
a re-
actually gotten him the
Cameron
job to go
Fry.
into Ferris Bueller's Day Off while they were like doing a play. He like was supposed to be sleeping. He nudged him and was like, I got the Ferris Bueller job. And he wrote a number down, like a figure, and then I think he brought him along with him. It's actually pretty cool.
That's
pretty cool to
awesome.
watch.
Yeah, yeah.
So
check those out. Really cool.
Yeah.
Reunited Apart on YouTube.
yeah, that's fun, man. So other TV and movie news. Mark, you just watched Doctor Sleep, correct?
Doctor Sleep, yeah.
That's
The
supposed to
Shining.
be a kind of a Shining kind of revisit. So I told you about this. I own it. Haven't watched it yet. Heard mixed feelings on it. However, what'd you think, man? You're a horror guy.
I
You're
am.
Your Shining's your
love The
favorite horror
Shining.
movie.
Took a deep breath.
It's really bizarre.
bizarre.
It's really somehow a cult is involved, stealing the shine from people. I was lost for a good hour and 15 minutes before they explained who they were and what they were doing.
Okay. So Doctor Sleep was kind of a dud.
Yeah, I kind of for being involved with The Shining,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to be really good. That movie is famous.
Right.
It's popular. If you don't do it right, it's not gonna go well. I don't think it went well,
Well,
personally.
Missed the mark.
I heard that, and
Missed the mark
it's
for me.
upsetting. It's
is.
upsetting because it was definitely a movie that I was
I
looking
was
forward
hyped on
to.
that.
Now, have you seen Castle Rock?
I'm not.
Okay.
Amazing.
So I haven't watched the second season of Castle Rock yet, but I watched the first season. I loved it. I thought it was really smart. It's totally in his it's like his whole imagination or his universe. It's got like ties to The Shining. It's got ties to everything that's Stephen King inside this show.
I would like that.
You should check it out
Yeah.
because the first one's really, really eerie, and then the second one I think
love
has
it.
background
Yeah.
to The Shining. The first one
Okay.
was more background to Shawshank Prison
Yep.
and
Yeah.
some other stuff, but there's a lot of stuff you pick up. There's actually like a newspaper article that says dog runs rampant and kills, and it's Cujo. And
Right.
you know, like if you
that's
pick up
cool.
on little stuff like that throughout it, it's pretty cool. So check out Castle Rock if you haven't
Check it
seen
out.
that.
I love that they revisit the mansion.
Yeah,
That brings back some, nostalgia from the movie. But that took 2 hours, 2.5 hours long, dude.
yeah.
So if you're not figuring it out and it's in like an hour and a half, you're kind
Then
of like,
you're
what the
disappointed.
hell? Right.
Right.
What is going on?
Well,
But,
Nick, you watch Upload?
one.
We did. We've been watching Upload.
So Upload
I like
I
it. It's
dabbled in.
on Amazon.
Boomer, you watched Upload as well.
Amazing.
So
Amazon.
you finished it. You're almost about to finish
got
it. I'm
about
like
2 left.
almost halfway through.
It gets, I like it a lot. It's
I got
really
right
good.
to the point where they showed there's a little bit of controversy potentially. There's a little bit of foul of foot. Maybe maybe there's somebody's up to something.
Swindlers.
and I
Some
don't know.
malarkey
And I-
going
out
on.
there.
There's some shifty go-betweens, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and I don't care who's at the top, Nick.
It is. It's funny, and there's a good story behind it too. I'm not to the end, so I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
But it's good. It's interesting. It's got me hooked in. It's on Amazon Video, Amazon Prime if you have it.
Okay.
And check out Upload.
All right. All right.
That's my suggestion.
What about Becky?
Oh, that was interesting. I'll tell you, Kevin James. It's hard to see him as a
It's kind of a
neo-Nazi, basically
Neo-Nazi?
escaped prisoner
That's
with
weird.
this group of guys that he's trying to rob these people and
That's Paul
little
Blart.
girl-
Ladies
Paul
and gentlemen.
Blart.
Paul
by the
Blart,
way.
this ball
Forget.
cop,
this is his serious role.
and there's a little girl that wasn't in the house when they do what they're supposed to do, and she goes after him, and it's not bad.
It's not a bad movie.
It's not
but
bad.
it's different for
Brutal.
a Kevin James movie.
Definitely.
Wow.
It takes a minute to really take him in as a evil, beating up people and like
Sure.
killing people.
Sure.
It's not Kevin James,
He's
but
such a
he
teddy
was
bear.
okay.
He's such a
he
teddy
really
bear.
is, but
Right.
Seems like it.
I
Right.
think he's just trying to go outside the box and see what else he can
I could see that.
maybe pull off.
Yeah, I
not
could see
bad.
that. What
pretty
what about Dave? I just watched Dave for the first time. I've got a couple episodes under my belt.
Oh,
I love it.
You're not done.
No, I haven't finished it yet.
It only gets better.
That's what I've heard. I
It
mean,
only
and it's
gets
totally
better.
my type of comedy too. Starting off,
Dude, that
Can't wait
dude,
till you see the prison episode.
yeah.
Is that 10? That's the last one, right?
I heard the song from it. Somebody spoiled that and played the song from it.
I
But it is what it is. I mean,
Love Dave.
I love Lil Dicky. Dave Bird
So
is
funny.
brilliant. If you haven't checked out his show, definitely check it out because
on
it is
Hulu.
definitely on point. And then last but not least, we have a couple other pieces of TV and movie news. Ryan Reynolds signed on for another Green Lantern with Snyder, I think it was, as the director, brought him back.
Look at that.
And it's going to be interesting because he mocks that character whenever he did Deadpool.
Yep.
You know, like I think he cleaned up the timeline and went back and killed the Green Lantern like during the end credits of one of the Deadpool shows. So it's kind of funny to see that he's going to go back and make another bad decision because that first movie was terrible. What do you guys think?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Nick didn't see Green Lantern.
I didn't either. The Seth Rogen one or the
That's Green Hornet. We talked about this. Green
yeah,
Lantern.
sorry, my bad.
You know, when it comes to me in superhero movies,
Big Green.
You don't know Green Lantern? Either?
soccer, love that movie.
All right, we are out of here. No,
ladies and
last but not least, let's talk about Kevin Smith's reaction to the new Bill and Ted movie.
Awesome. He cried.
He cried.
See it, man.
I gotta
See
see it.
now.
I mean, the trailers are out, right? It's not out, right?
Not yet, but he gets the pre-screen.
Of course.
Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves are back to actually play the original characters, Bill and Preston
awesome.
Esquire. Is that what it is? It's
Bill S. Preston,
Ted-
Esquire,
Yes.
and Ted Theodore Logan.
Logan.
We are the Wild Stallions.
I love it.
Now, Kevin Smith did say he was blaze high as a kite, as the kids used to say, on the weed.
On the weed.
you do the they do the pot still.
So you know you got to
That's
take
what
that
Kevin
into
Smith said.
consideration, I guess. So he's fully weeded up when he sat down and watched this movie. Direct quote, by the way.
Yeah.
He saw Bill and Ted, and it is effing wonderful.
Yeah.
Looking forward
So
to
they
the
face the
trilogy, the Bill and Ted
Pretty awesome.
trilogy.
Well, that's going to be awesome.
I love Keanu.
I'm excited.
Summer 2020.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, there is a trailer.
So how is it going to be released? Will it be released on Netflix or Hulu or like Amazon?
No, it's actually going to be just full.
Well, theaters are opening back up, right?
Okay, yeah.
They're gonna open back
Yeah.
up, so they're actually gonna put that out there and see. And
We're gonna pack the hell out of them, baby.
there is a trailer out for Bill and Ted. TJ is letting us know that as well too.
Bill and Ted
Very
trailer.
cool.
There's a trailer. Check it out.
Yeah,
Love it. Loved those movies as a kid. I mean, another Another memory that
Oh,
sparks in my
definitely.
mind.
Definitely.
Bill and Ted.
So,
Cool.
well, man, that was a lot of stuff. I mean, we went a little bit longer
lot
there
of
on the
stuff.
general
Yeah.
stuff, but we got some sports stuff to
You
get
know,
into as well
A
too.
lot of controversy, a lot of interesting stuff. Hopefully, you guys are entertained.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's jump right into it then.
Jump right in.
NHL. Let's talk
NHL.
NHL controversy.
Uh,
The
Draft.
Detroit Red Wings and the Los Angeles Kings are getting what you would say. Oh, I can't say this on Facebook. F'd in the A with
Shafted.
no L. There you go.
with no L.
With no L, yes. Instead of it being the typical NHL lottery draft order that they would do, they're actually adding some craziness into it now. So apparently, Nick, you explained this to me. One of the 8 teams or 6 teams.
So one of the 8 teams that gets knocked out of the
First round.
play-in round will be. That's how they pulled the balls. So every team. I mean, it's so crazy. Like the
What kind of
chances
balls are
of
they pulling?
the chances.
I don't know.
The wrong ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm hearing nothing but bad stuff about
The
this
chances
draft
about
stuff.
this, the
It's not
chances of the things that happen are like unbelievable. So the NHL basically, I don't think the Kings got screwed. They get the number 2 pick, but
Well-
Detroit went from the. I mean, there was no chance. Basically, there were so many balls in Detroit's corner that if they didn't get the first pick, it was crazy. And
Yeah.
they dropped all the way to 4th. I mean,
Right.
Detroit. Sorry,
LA
y'all.
is number 2. Okay, so but listen, to this.
LA's 2, but
so rattle off the teams.
The
real quick.
number 1 pick. Oh, you mean what from top to bottom, or the
just the
could
teams
be-
that could potentially even get the number 1 draft.
So
pick
I
this
mean,
year.
Edmonton
Edmonton
could get the number
Got
1
the
draft
first-
pick.
could
Really?
be,
Could
yeah.
be.
Because
I mean,
if they get eliminated,
if they get eliminated out
Yeah.
of the first, I mean, anyone in the play-in round, anyone who's not Dallas, Vegas, Avalanche, Blues, Boston, Tampa, Washington, and Philadelphia is available to get this first pick.
Yeah.
Now that the NHL their NHL ball won the top pick draft.
now, whereas those teams, because of where they finished at this year, would have been nowhere even relevant to even get that first draft pick. Now they're switching it out to where they're actually having an option or a chance for those teams to now.
So those 8 teams the
you-
8 teams who lose, now their balls go into a pot, and then they're picked again. There's
Right.
another draft, another ball picking for that order.
Right.
What happened to just doing like a mix of the last 5 teams?
Exactly.
And
That's
whoever
what it
went
sh-
from-
and that's what it should be.
That's
But
what
I
it should
think what
be.
they're doing is, and this might just this is my thought process.
Conspiracy
on it.
theory, maybe.
It's not conspiracy theory. They had to do something in order to make it
The man.
interesting. Okay, they had to do something to give them something to play
Yeah,
for.
this is a weird year.
So when you have
It is a
teams
weird
that are
year.
at the bottom of the bubble, right, that are trying to play in, if you either A are going to say, oh, okay, well now if we play and we lose, we're going to potentially get the first round draft pick. Do teams now tank because of that?
You want to
mean-
you lose you mean throw
What
away
if the
this
Blackhawks
play
get 'em?
this play in? Well, that's the thing.
know?
If the Oilers beat the Blackhawks, then they're in the running.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, any of these 16 teams, 8 of these 16 teams are going to get one of the 8 of these 16 teams are going to get the first pick. That's crazy. The fact that if Chicago does upset Edmonton and they get the first pick,
Yeah.
would that be some insaneness?
Yeah.
I just want to throw this out there. TJ Casey says, "Are you not entertained?" Sorry, I just watched Gladiator. Thank you. I love that
Not
movie, TJ.
entertained.
Also, he says Detroit earned that number 1 spot. I agree with that.
Yep.
There was no chance. I
and he-
can't
No.
believe it happened.
Yeah, and he says, "I can't believe that that a placeholder team won the number 1 pick. It's unreal." And I agree with you. This is not
I
the
agree.
way that
This
this
is not
works.
right.
I think
And
everyone
this
in the
is
league
bad.
was shocked.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think
seeing
that-
all the tweets from people
This
like
is not
just,
good
what?
for Buffalo.
Right. They're not. I mean, they're coming
is,
in
but
now. Here's the thing: they're
nothing
coming
is.
straight into a playoff to do the playoffs, right? So they already knew that from a majority of the season, which teams were good, which teams were bad.
Right.
This shouldn't be like fuel to the fire to say, "Hey, play for something," because realistically, it's, "Hey, if you lose, you have a better chance of getting Lafreniere.
Lafreniere.
If you don't care about this, if you don't care about
He's
this
a
year,
stud.
He is.
Whoever
a stud.
gets this first pick is going to be.
So
Set.
we're now
That's ridiculous.
So
No.
look at what it does. And
not.
from being a Blues fan, you look at it and say, like, Chicago had a rough
get-
year.
yeah.
And if they lose to Edmonton and they get in the pool and end up getting Lafreniere, and then now they have Kane, Lafreniere, DeBrincat, and they start to
Chase,
rebuild,
yeah.
then that's dangerous for
Dangerous.
us. Whereas Detroit, the team that clearly needs it, is getting the
They
shaft.
got
in
the
this
they got F
got
in the A with no
one. With
L.
no L.
Kyle.
That's how we say it on Facebook. F
That's
in the
how
A
it
with
is.
no L.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is some
Yeah.
craziness.
No
So
wonder-
I'm guessing this third Ottawa pick came from San Jose, so that's probably the Carlson trade, which I mean
you're
that
probably right.
works out pretty well for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But who's at that number 3 spot? Because you got to remember, it might not be deep through Lafreniere, and I'm sure it's going to be a good player, but it's not like a pristine.
You know the number one
Right.
pick. Other than that, it might be a little
Picture looks
toss up.
creepy.
It does look
Yeah.
creepy.
TJ,
Look at my ball.
I like 9.
yeah. TJ says Detroit should have had a 95% chance of getting that first round pick. I agree, and then they should have.
the like the chance of that happening. Where I also heard the conspiracy is that the balls were never seen picked. So it's a
Right,
video
I've
of the
heard that
balls.
too.
I mean, this guy has a ball in his
no
hand.
video of the balls.
This guy has balls in his hand right now.
You can't even
So
see who he is.
If someone can procure a video of balls and not the ones that are not numbered and have a team's name associated with it,
those
please
ping
let
pong
us know.
balls with the
We need
numbers on
videos
them.
of correct ball picking.
There is
Yeah,
apparently
have
a
them
video
set
right
up.
there that says, "Look, Bettman draws lottery for 2020."
But I,
There's a
you know,
video.
I haven't watched this. This is a
That's not
screenshot.
Batman.
That's not well. He just got back from
Oh,
Florida.
the conspiracy now goes deeper.
Yeah, dude, this is craziness. This is craziness. And you don't want to say it.
6.
Dun,
It's
dun,
upside
dun.
down.
It's
Upside down
down.
6. Yeah, it's 6.
Yeah, that could have been the problem too. That might
What? That's not Beckman. That's not Bettman.
That's
God, I thought I hit something else again, Kyle. Damn you.
Scary.
no, yeah, that was with the Carlson trade. So I mean, yeah,
It's a conspiracy.
outside of the number one pick, I don't know really too much more about it, but I'm sure
Is that Bettman?
that's Luc Robitaille. Alexis Lafreniere will be potentially in Edmonton. To think about that is holy.
I mean, but hey, let me tell you this: what really is it going to do? They need more than just Lafreniere.
Right.
Well, it's not a goalie. He can't play goals.
Right.
No.
They need way more than that. So him going to them would probably just put them in the place of, how are we going to pay this guy? Because they paid all that money to Draisaitl and McDavid. That comes into play. Now they don't have a high dollar goalie, which is not a bad thing, but I mean, goalies are apparently a dime a dozen right now. They just can't seem to find one that wants to come and play good for them.
Right.
Because every time they get a goalie, you're like, yeah, this guy could be good. And then he gets to their team and it's like, he shits the
Wah,
bed.
wah.
I thought Cam Talbot was really going to be like good for them.
He looked like he was going to
Didn't
adapt.
work.
No.
Looks like the number 2 and the number 3 picks could go between either Quentin Byfield from Sudbury of the Ontario Hockey League or Tim Stultze from Mannheim of Deutsche Eishockey Liga. Stützle.
Will you repeat that, please?
If you understood that.
Byfield had 82 points.
Yeah, that's not bad. He scored
45
82
games.
points in
Wow.
45 games. Stützle, 34 points,
He must be a
132
defenseman.
shots in 41
He
games.
must be a defenseman, eh?
82
Left winger.
points.
Oh, wow.
We got a left winger and a center here. So those will probably be the guys that fall in to the 2 and 3 spots. Not bad. Byfield.
Not bad.
Quentin Byfield.
Not bad. Let's talk about Blues skating on the ice for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, what a
Man,
sight.
It feels good.
Ryan O'Reilly, as you said, his first shot that was like actually
down.
recorded, bar down, beautiful to see.
Beautiful.
Off a goalie, by the way,
Shooting
not
the
just
horn
shooting
off.
off.
Horn
an
went
empty net.
off.
Yeah.
Gotta get used to them artificial sounds being
Right.
injected in. You know,
I'm ready.
we have Alex Petrangelo doing a little jig,
Dancing on the ice.
You know?
So happy. I can't.
loving
Just
it,
gotta
doing his
dance,
happy
baby.
dance, doing the happy dance,
Just gotta
feeling the
Happy
flow,
dance.
working it.
Working it.
Feeling the flow.
Now on negative NHL news, there's 25 positive COVID cases that popped up in the NHL throughout all of the teams, not in one particular location. But that is bad news as far as for some of those teams, especially if they can get it under wraps, because of the fact that obviously is the biggest concern, is to stop it from spreading to the rest of the team and faculty and whatnot.
Was it 25?
Hopefully they keep it.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah. Hopefully they keep it in check.
Now, hey, if Detroit doesn't get a big player and they have to dismantle, is there any other guy that would look better in a Blues jersey than Anthony Mantha? I'm just throwing that out there.
He's badass.
I would
be
love
good.
to have Mantha on our team. He's a big power guy. He would fit in perfect with our team. Maybe we lose Steen to retirement. We just add Mantha and then we win another cup.
It's really hard to even think about getting rid of anybody on our team besides like Steen.
Yeah.
It's 26 now, by the way.
Who else do you
COVID
not
cases.
like on our lines?
Well, I'll tell
Where
you,
you're like, meh.
it depends on where you
Money
gotta
plays in.
give a little bit to take a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're giving something for that.
So I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I like Sammy Blais, but if we're getting Mantha, Sammy Blais can go, and he's one of our considered kind of top 6 guys right now as far as it goes when he's healthy.
Yeah, he
I
plays
like
Berube
his
style.
grittiness, right? But I think that if Mantha is a big body, and if you were to lose somebody like that, I wouldn't mind seeing him go. I think Perron at this point is a Blue. I don't think that
for sure.
I don't think he
Yeah.
leaves again.
He wanted to be here so much
Years ago?
You gotta love David Perron.
Yeah,
He loves the city. He wanted to keep coming back.
Yeah.
He wants to stay here.
He does.
I mean, you want players that want
He
to be
produces.
here.
he does. And he
Very
showed that
well.
he could step
about
up.
it, openly about staying.
He showed that he could step up with the absence of Tarasenko
He really
and
did.
actually take control of our power play and be the sniper or the guy that takes or is not afraid of taking those
Right.
shots.
He's not so afraid to shoot.
Jimmy
That's why I like
Tracy, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for tuning in.
What up, Jimbo?
Better late than never, buddy. We appreciate the have
Hey,
you on here.
Jimbo.
Let's talk about some Hall of Fame stuff, man.
The Hall of Fame 2020 class has been announced.
And I love the first guy. Always
Jerome
have.
Iginla.
Jerome
My
McGinley?
type of
Jerome
guy. He
McGinley.
would throw down and hang, too, if he needed to.
Yeah.
He was
Big
badass.
fan of Jerome McGinley.
Captain
He's shocked
for
that he
a lot
got
of
in.
teams.
I'm like, you
Yeah,
shouldn't be.
He's a hard-nosed player. Could also
Whole
score.
career.
Could pop you in the mouth. I mean,
Yep.
he was good. Hell of a career.
Big fan.
Marian Hossa. Another well-deserved, I'd say.
Hey, before you go into the rest of that, TJ made a good point here. I just want to throw this out. He said that Nail Yakupov did amazing in junior as well, and he went nowhere. He's been traded 3 times in 2 years in the KHL.
You never
and
know.
It's hard to tell if the first-round pick is a sure thing unless
true.
it's a McDavid or a Crosby
true.
or Ovi. No standout players in this draft, in my opinion, and I agree with that. Like, you don't have those
There
guys
isn't
come
like
across
a
very
done
often.
deal.
So yeah, I agree with that. So good call out on that, TJ, because
Yeah,
I
very
agree.
good.
That's a good point. So go ahead with the Hall of Fame inductees.
Oh, Iginla, we said Marian Hossa, whose career was cut a little short, I believe, by
Yeah.
some crazy illness, but still one of the best. Ken Holland, Kevin Lowe, Kim St.
Love
Pierre,
Kevin Lowe.
Doug Wilson
Long time player.
is being
Long time Hawk.
yeah. He's the Sharks GM now.
Shark GM.
He won the Norris Trophy in 1982.
I think he was their first captain.
Okay.
Could be wrong. Not
Maybe.
sure about that.
Very well could have been. Yeah,
He might have been. And he didn't. I don't think he wore a helmet.
he might.
Doug
If he
Wilson.
came from that
I
era,
don't
then he
think he
might
did.
not have. Yeah.
Remember his name.
Good
man.
question.
827
Not sure about that.
points in 1,024 games. Hell of a career.
Of course, we all know who the last guy was to not wear a helmet.
Craig McTavish.
There you go.
Of course.
Just had to throw that out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone
good,
there.
Good knowledge there. Good
Should
trivia.
have dropped that.
Iginla's
And he
Blue.
had excellent hair.
He
by
really
the way.
did.
Really
Craig
nice.
McTavish had excellent hair.
Nice perm.
Towards the end, it was kind of thin, but
Don't you
Then in
ever
the
say
back.
that
Neither here
about
nor there.
McTavish.
Still had the party going up front.
he did. He did.
Mississippi mudslide?
You gotta have
it
the
was
hockey
just,
mullet.
There's just a wandering hole in the back, but
Iginla's career. Let's talk about a little bit about Iginla's career. 20 years, 16. He had that C for the Flames.
yeah.
He got 625 goals, 1,300 points in 1,554 games. Flames never did much. They got to Game 7 of the Cup Finals in 2004, but
Is that the Lightning that beat him?
I believe mid
So,
2004.
Hobby Bullen?
might
Was
be
that the year?
Might have been.
Just trying to figure out who beat him in
I'm
game
terrible with
2004.
years with that. I need to use the
2004
interwebs.
Stanley
that
Cup
up.
champion, whoever that was.
W's.
The Flames took him to 7 games,
Maybe
so
an
that was a
Iginla jersey.
hard fought
That would be good.
series, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll look into that.
Hossa, really quick, 41 years old. He obviously played for the Hawks a lot.
Definitely hated him at one point.
He was the famous for he lost to the Detroit for the Cup, then got traded to Chicago, then they won the Cup, right? Did he lose?
He
missed
was
both years
He was
there,
on
right?
Pittsburgh, got traded to Detroit to win, and then Pittsburgh beat him.
Yeah.
Because I remember I bought a Stanley Cup champions hat just because I love that Pittsburgh beat him.
I feel like that happened.
Thought
to
that
him
was
twice,
perfect.
But
You're just full of info, Mark.
Hossa was a
Dabble.
legend.
I
Just
dabble.
full of it.
I love it.
11
I do it a little.
1,134
You still have the hat,
points in
too.
1,300 games. I mean,
I-
what a
He was
career.
good. I just
Out of those guys getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, man, I mean, Hossa for sure, Iginla for sure. Some of the other guys I don't really remember from our era.
Doug
you know?
Wilson just played
Doug Wilson
for
was
a
awesome.
long time.
Yeah, but still, Doug Wilson, majority of his career was before we were even born.
Yeah, well,
It was 82, it said.
a lot of these guys have probably been trying for a few years to get into this Hall of Fame. You're eligible for a few years, right? And
No, I'm not hating
there was
on
other
him.
people who
I'm not
deserved it
hating.
a little bit more than him.
I'm not hating on him. I'm
Timing
just saying I
is-
don't
Sounds
know.
like you are.
Timing is
I-
everything.
Those are sons of bitch.
Well,
no.
Kyle, I just read to you who he was. So
Well, you know what? Just reading someone's bio off of Wikipedia doesn't mean that I now know them like we're best friends.
don't forget that name. We got some snubs too. A lot of guys
I want to
who
see the snubs.
eventually will be in, but just
Is
That guy
is
better
it was not their
Mogilny?
year.
Is that Alexander Mogilny?
You got
Yeah,
it.
and we
The
got a
number one.
shot at pulling his rookie card.
So
Number
really
one
quickly,
snub.
TJ says make sure to watch the Defector doc. It explains the Mogilny comment that he had. He basically opened up the opportunity for Russians to come into the NHL, and he should have been
Really?
in a long time ago.
really
I
good.
agree with that, and he is someone that's
Awesome.
getting
Really good.
snubbed once again.
Yeah, he
Big
doesn't.
fan of McGillney.
11th consecutive year of snubbage too.
11th consecutive year of snubbage. It's because he's a Sabre.
Well, I mean, he had
should get in for that.
And, I think, he had 1,032 points in 990 games,
Yeah.
including a 76 goal, 127 point campaign in 1993
fantastic.
as a Sabre
Yeah, still played for
in
the Sabres.
Buffalo.
How about when he went to
Remember when we talked about
Vancouver?
Hasek?
Messier, Mogilny, and
Yeah.
Bure.
Yeah, that's true.
Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, Daniel Alfredson?
Another snub.
yeah, I kind of
remember.
forgot about him.
Yeah.
I like him too.
Early into his career, a little early, right? Or did he
Yeah,
get in late?
He went to Detroit at the end.
Rookie in '95.
Yeah, I don't, he had a long career. It says he's
Played
not
a
really
long time.
not no one's really that surprised he hasn't made it yet. But I feel like Alfredson, one of those names that is going to make it eventually.
Do you think Theo Fleury's teeth ever came back?
I don't know.
They're new.
Theo
think
Fleury's got a
Keith-
hell of a story, man. This guy has also been obviously snubbed for many years because he's retired a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
damn
Another
good,
player
too.
played for the Flames, 1,088 points in 1,084 games.
Avalanche, Rangers,
Little guy, too. Undersized guy that
Little
in the
guy,
league.
little guy with gumption.
Gumption.
Now,
got
this is the one that really surprises me that, they weren't, inducted. I don't
Jennifer
know.
Botterill. I mean,
don't know
come
how
on,
she
she
got
should
snubbed
be in.
again.
There's no doubt. Get Jennifer Botterill in the Hockey Hall of Fame. She deserves it.
Collegiate and international level, she's got numerous accolades in both. So that's why she's got...
Well, she got 319 points in 113 games.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's something.
I'm not
think
hating
we-
on her.
I was-
I want to make sure that that's...
Literally, I
was not-
thought we were just kind of riffing on this chick because I've never heard
No,
of that accomplishment.
no, not at
is
all. This girl's talented, man.
Outrageous. Holy.
Yeah.
Two-time MVP in the world. Produced a point per game. 174 points in 184 games during her tenure with the national program. Canadian?
Now, let me mind you...
Canadian team.
Mind you, scroll back up for me real quick, that she was snubbed, other way, that she is snubbed Patrick Elias, Rod Brindamore, Sergei Gonchar, and Julie Chu, which Julie Chu I don't know much about.
Me neither.
Me neither. Gonchar, Brindamore, Elias. I mean, those.
But those are some impressive names for her to be
Impressive.
ahead of as far as that goes.
Sure.
It's not bad at all.
And Rod Brindamore played for a real long time.
Now he's a good coach,
a
man. He
rookie
wins.
in
He wins a cup. He's in as a
90?
coach and a player.
He was
He
a
had a
rookie
great-
in '90, so he played for a really long time.
I think he pulled the Brindamore Blues card last week, if I'm not mistaken.
We have one important topic to talk about. Mark, you're wearing it right now. We wouldn't have a show if we didn't have
rocking.
at least one Pat Maroon shout
If we
out.
the
don't find a
superfluous
reason-
Pat Maroon shout
Yeah.
out.
Find a
Now,
reason
there's
to
this
rock
one's
that.
special. Tell us about this
This
one.
is special. This was actually the first one, my first Maroon gamer, and he actually
Game
had a fight
worn.
in this, which is actually, if you see the collar is actually ripped.
A little rip there.
You can see this
Little
fight on
hanging up.
YouTube.
It's got a bunch of double-sided tape to cover the holes that are on the inside, which I
that.
guess is how the Ducks do it. But he had a fight with Luke Witkowski
Luke
of the Tampa Bay Lightning. I want to say that was
Witkowski.
2015,
You're right.
and
It was a banger.
Pat,
So make sure
Pat
this
did
is
what
clear.
Pat does.
They were throwing.
Make
man.
sure
he
this
was
is clear.
Pat was throwing.
game worn Anaheim Ducks Pat Maroon
worn.
jersey that he did indeed get into a fight in.
That's nice.
It is pretty cool.
Pretty neat.
I like
Got
that.
holes and all types of good stuff. What you would expect from a
Exactly.
Pat game worn
Shout
jersey.
out, Patty.
I enjoyed watching Pat in Anaheim.
Yeah,
It was exciting,
yeah.
especially whenever the
played- he
playoff
was
time
really
came
grew.
around.
Oh,
he
yeah.
had that
He,
point
like,
run.
grew.
He did.
from when he first got there, and I think Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaff were huge for him
Playing on a line.
to like grow up and like be. You're going to be on the first line. This is how you got to play. This is how you got to be. I think Pat just fed right in.
Well,
It really boosted him.
Pat's
good
talent
for
was
him.
never a question.
No.
I mean he was an insane hockey player. I
Yep.
mean, I remember playing with him and against him, and I mean, it just he uses his size to his advantage,
strong.
and he's a smart player with his body. So he
Yeah.
would let his body do the work for him, while he would let his good hands do the rest.
Right.
So that was the immediate thing he had coming in too, was that
Right.
he was to meet us, anyone around the St. Louis area, known as a goal scorer.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he was that guy that was
Oh,
going
yeah.
to score goals. So whenever you see them go to the NHL and a guy of his size get to the NHL, then what do you see him as, right?
Right.
Someone that has to now drop the mitts and protect some of these other guys.
To an extent, yes.
Where in all reality, he can bury those down below. That's
Right.
what made him. And my compliment to Pat is, like I said, that the closest player I could think of for him would be like Eric Lindros to compare him to.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that he wasn't just a bruiser, he was a guy that was going to score goals, and he would make
I
it
get a
happen.
little Keith Primo, a
Keith
little bit.
Primo,
he was
yeah.
a big guy.
Yeah.
He would fight into in the corners. And he was a tough guy to get out of the front of the net, which is what Pat. Maybe the hands of Pat, I think, are better than what Keith Primo was.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
style of play and owning his job for what he is.
Pat had to move
Yeah.
from Philadelphia Flyers, where basically they were a fast team, which he didn't have the speed, right?
Right.
And then he ends up not getting a chance there, or whenever he did
Right.
was like in a preseason game or something. Didn't
Right.
really get a lot of actual NHL time there. Then they actually trade him or dish him over to Anaheim.
Correct.
In Anaheim, he kind of slowly got up into some action there and got paired up with Getzlaf and Perry. I think at the right time. It was
So
during
good.
that playoff
Yeah,
run.
It was really good for him.
And he actually had like a record, I think, at one point. Don't know if it's been broken for, I believe, a point streak maybe for a rookie in the playoffs. Maybe you can look that up and
Possibly.
see.
I think he had like
I have-
13 and
He-
17
yeah,
games.
he
or
had
something
some
actually
crazy
have,
point
to start
streak.
off with.
Yeah, he either came close to breaking it or he actually did break the record himself for the point streak.
I actually have Pat's first playoff goal jersey that he had.
Okay.
It actually hit off his back, and it hit off Kari Lettinen's head and bounced into the net.
I'll take it.
It was one of those where he just like turned
I'll
around
take
and
it.
it was in.
Yeah.
And that was Pat's first playoff goal.
Hell yeah, dude.
What do you get
So-
for being in front of the net?
Get in front.
I have a
something
really
happen.
cool video that I stumbled across. It's a DVD of whenever we went to Narch and Pat played on our team and we made it all the way to the championship. And we were playing against a team from New York or somewhere around there, and they were an extremely good team. And I just remember I played goalie at the time, and I think they got a beat on us and scored like a goal or two real quick. And I remember Pat coming back and just kind of like, "Hey man, just keep us in the game, man. I'll help you out as best I can." And we ended up coming back and beating them like 5-3 or something like that. Pat had like 3 goals, 4 goals.
There you
It was
go.
just
He's a
insane.
badass.
So great memories. I actually have that on DVD, so I can watch that whenever I want. It was actually
very
professionally
cool.
like announced too. So like you actually hear that. And another save by Minador.
We're gonna post that to the website.
We might if they're lucky. You guys got to pay for that. Actually,
It's gold. The gold membership gets you
$3.99.
yeah.
Get
Go to
you
our
Kyle's
Experion page and we'll, or whatever it is, Patreon. Yeah, go to our
there you go.
Patreon page and you can pay to watch me play hockey from the '90s.
It's good
No,
stuff.
for sure. Well, all right, let's keep on with the hockey stuff. I mean, we're gonna have some other hockey cards to open up. '90s tops
I
NHL set.
snagged us a box, and I told Kyle, I sent him a message. I'm like, it's like this guy was selling a box of 1990 tops, which I think was the first box I ever opened when I was a kid.
How much were they?
Those cards.
I offered him $10 for the box.
Those cards look so familiar. I love the look of those cards.
They
It
were like
brings
my
back
first ones that I
memories.
bought, and for $10, I was like, what
You
the
can't
hell?
beat that.
I know,
Yeah.
you can't beat
Why
that.
not?
There's Roenick rookie, McGillney rookie, Cujo, Richter, a bunch of guys from our childhood. Brenda Moore is actually in there, rookie. So it'll be cool to open those.
Potentially another hockey card unboxing
Yeah,
coming
that'll be
soon.
fun. We'll move a little quicker
Post-break.
maybe than we did the last time, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, we're gonna breeze through that a lot faster.
We will. We're figuring things out.
Really quickly, TJ says he's a front net presence, but has good enough hands to be a goal scorer. Like it much better than Backus, but much less money. Loved Patty in St. Louis. So did Weed, man. It was
We
definitely
did.
good to have him.
That was so cool. Kind of surreal.
That was.
that we got him here.
Really was. Jeff Wood says DVD or it didn't happen. I can supply you with the DVD for sure. So I'll prove that it happened if you want. And then also Nick says there's an announcement somewhere and talks that that day that he saw God in that. Oh, thanks. I guess you're saying that's what Pat said about me. Yeah, I wish that Pat would say something like that about me in that. But thanks, Nick, for over exaggerating that. Let's switch gears here. Let's go over to some baseball. Sure. There's a cool picture of Yachty.
I love it.
I'm excited. He was on the diamond, ready to play, and I think he's got the quarantine haircut going too, or some hair coming out the
little
side there a
shaggy.
little bit, right?
I guess baseball's coming back.
I think we
I
were
guess
all.
so.
I think we might have been thinking that was never coming back.
I don't think so. I mean, that was my next
I know
topic
you
was,
were
are
not
we
on
actually
it.
having a season?
is it
Because I
happening?
still don't think that we are. And the reason I say is because you have players that are obviously holding out. We're going to get to that in a second.
That's
but,
the thing.
But the problem is you have players that are holding out, not a whole large list yet, but it might get bigger.
Mike
Right?
Leake and Ryan Zimmerman so far.
Those are the two, right?
Just today, though. This is starting today, so this
Right.
might trickle down to.
So who knows if those
get
guys
more.
are sitting out, it might be a domino effect, and you might see that.
You
right?
might also see guys who are going to feast on the chance of getting a chance to play
Yeah,
or pitch.
it's gonna
or
give a lot of
whatever.
young kids
It's going to
some
give some
chances,
young
you
guys
know?
a shot that they might not have ever had.
Yeah.
Take your
Could be good.
Take your chance.
Yeah. There's an
Take a shot,
article
go
that I
for it.
saw that was saying too, with some of the guys like Acuna and Trout, if they get into full-fledged season mode, with it being a short season, will we see them in this shortened season with a 400 plus batting average?
I like that.
I think
would
we
be
will.
Wild.
I think we
Yeah.
will. We'll see somebody do it. I don't think. I mean, we saw where we were at on the whatchamacallit, the Trout and Acuna last season with their batting averages.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's any reason why we should doubt that. It might not even be one of the big name guys. It might just be a guy that just gets hot and stays hot for the shortened season.
You're still going to get 200 at bats probably at the end of it.
What if it's
for an everyday
Goldschmidt?
player?
What if it's Goldschmidt?
Yeah,
That's like
that'd be cool.
672.
672. Wow.
Hits 27 home runs
Holy
in
Christ.
2 months. And
Dude, that'd be amazing. I think he could do it. I
could.
think he could do it.
he could. The first game we have is going to be July 23rd. The season starts.
July
It goes
23rd.
from the 23rd through September 27th. September 29th is whenever the playoffs will start, and then October 20th is whenever the World Series will start.
So it's going to be weird as hell,
Yeah.
but
It is going to be strange.
we're going to get some baseball.
We're gonna have like some good stuff going on into July.
Be good summer.
I mean, just games all day. We're not going
I'm
to be able to
excited
see
for
every
it.
game.
No,
No.
it's,
If there's
it's gonna be
hockey all
wild.
day, baseball all day, basketball, they said 7 games a day.
How long
NBA.
have
Wow.
we been doing this podcast with no actual sports going on?
I know. It's been hard
amazing.
to find stuff to talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to.
That's going to
have
be crazy.
something.
It's going to be.
Well,
We make it
Well,
happen.
all at
We
once.
make it happen.
Yeah,
but
we do. We do. We're kind of a big deal.
Might
Well,
not
we want
have
to be.
reach
But,
as much.
but to bring that up again, please follow us on Twitter or Instagram
Please.
or our
Please.
YouTube channel that we just created. We're going to try to get more of that done. We're taking a break after this episode for a couple of weeks while I'm out of town and Nick's out of town, and then we'll be back hopefully
miss you.
with a lot of. Thanks, guys.
Damien.
I'm going to miss you guys.
We'll be back
Talk
with
to
actually
Damien.
another interview. We're going to be interviewing Damien Leone.
Yeah.
He is the director of the Terrifier.
If
and
you guys
the
like
Terrifier
the
2.
Terrifier,
He will be
Moving
speaking with
up.
us after we come back from the break as well. So that's some
Should be
exciting stuff
very
there.
interesting.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's
That'd
doing
be-
some stuff for FX
Yeah.
for the next week or two. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
it's a big gig.
We'll have to ask what he's doing.
Big
but,
gig.
We'll get to the bottom of it once we get him
posting
on. for
pictures
sure.
of these makeup things he's doing. It's like, wow.
Gonna
come
be,
up with
that's
this
going to be
stuff.
some interesting stuff.
It's going to be
You're
interesting.
not going to
for
want to
sure.
miss that.
Yeah.
He's the master behind Art the Clown. Remember, he created that.
Yeah.
So
All
there's got to
Hallows
be
Eve.
there's got to
Didn't
be
he
something.
direct All Hallows Eve as well? So he
Yeah.
did All
Wow.
Hallows Eve. He did the Terrifier, and then now the Terrifier 2,
Art the
which should
Clown
be
is
coming
his
out soon.
creation. So
Yes.
That time lapse
Takes
is
it
really
easy.
cool.
Demented.
Yeah.
takes a dark person
really
to come up
cool.
with something
Yeah.
like that. He
Can't
should
wait
be a
to-
really interesting interview.
Cannot
Yeah.
wait for that.
For scary movies. Tune in after the break.
Can't wait.
Well, going back to this, the first game when we were talking about sports getting back up and running, not only is it just going to be like full fledged on go, but first game's Yankees versus Nationals should be Cole versus Scherzer as long as there's no
That's what we want to
setbacks.
see.
So I'm
If I
excited
wanted to
for that.
see any matchup, that would be it.
That would be
no
fun.
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Well, we've talked about this before, but I want to resurface a little bit. Is anyone more excited than the St. Louis Cardinals to have a shortened season that we don't have to worry about paying a full salary to Matt Carpenter and Dexter Fowler?
It's good for us.
This
out pretty
2-month
pretty well
season
for us,
that we're going to have here, is going to be nice for us because that's going to be 2 more years off of, 2 players' contract. Well, a year each, obviously, for 2 players that we just didn't do good with signing, and maybe that opens up the possibilities
I
for us
heard,
to get that Arenado deal that we were trying to get.
Matt Carpenter can't wait for the season to start.
Is that right?
Thank God.
Did he learn how to hit it to the left field?
We can only hope.
If you
We can
guys
only
think,
hope he can beat the shift this year.
let's do a poll. If you think that Carpenter made
That would be
salsa
good.
again this year to help him hit, please.
Will Carpenter hit over 300?
60
I'll
games
answer that
could-
right now. No.
60 games
No.
could be good for him, though, man.
60
Like over a
game
course
season?
of a whole season, he kind of might suck, but I mean, usually he does catch fire in the beginning of the season.
He's,
some of these
he's
times.
extremely hot and extremely cold.
Yeah, his ups and downs are.
What's the pay cut?
I repeat this. I think they're only getting paid 70%, right? Is what
70
they
or
agreed
80.
to. 70%. So still, we're getting
only
pretty
only
good.
7 million, not 10.
we're saving about 25 to 30%
Oh my
on our
God,
investment
only
that
that
we
much,
met.
right.
That was a bad investment. So I'm kind of excited about losing some of those guys as well too. So, but we'll see how it
We'll
goes.
keep it up in the air. Baseball,
And then playoff.
80% happening.
At least we have like a real. I mean, we were at
Timeline.
There's a
A
date,
week, a
July
week ago.
23rd.
Yeah.
I was at 10%.
Yeah.
You guys were both pretty much no.
Yeah. Now here's
And-
the thing. I'm still kind of like on the fence about it because once they get the training camps going again, if there's another COVID outbreak,
COVID stuff's
Yeah,
going to
just
go
all
up.
and
stop.
8
Sure.
to 10 people get COVID on one team, what are they going to do? Play with
They
minor
quarantine
leaguers?
that team or something. Yeah, that's
Like, because
yeah,
minor
that's-
leaguers
it
don't
could
have
be.
a season this year, mind you that.
Right.
You know, so like they're
they're
going to be calling
available.
guys that are on the couch waiting to play if that's the case. I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
See what happens.
Let's
We
talk.
got
Then
couple weeks.
let's talk some more controversy.
Oh boy, there hasn't been enough
like how you
this
say
show.
that.
You like that?
Controversy.
Controversy.
There hasn't been enough.
So the New England Patriots, aka the sleaziest team in the NFL, who consistently cheat year over year, have been caught yet once again cheating again. Was it recording video of the other team? I didn't even know that
Cincinnati
football
Bengals?
was being played right now, but they've been caught recording the Bengals playbooks and plays on the sidelines.
I'm
just
not gonna
1
hate-
million.
I'm not going to hate on
And a
Cincinnati.
draft pick or something, you know, but that's no big deal. And probably more now because this is their third offense.
They get in trouble every single year since 2001, I think.
So where do you draw the line?
I think if you're taking video surveillance or whatever they're doing against the Cincinnati Bengals, I think you've hit a new low.
Yeah, you can't be getting much information.
Well,
that
they
should
lost-
be a team you should be able to
They
handle
just
without
lost
any.
Tom Brady, but they just
Right.
added on Cam Newton.
They get Cam Newton.
Now
One-year
Cam
deal.
Newton is 1 year deal is like you said, it was all incentive based. Could be
Yeah.
like he could get one and
Starts at
done and
basically
get hurt.
the base minimum $1 million salary, but he could, with incentives, get up to $7.5 million.
That is
I believe
pretty
I
wild.
read. So
is he
it's just-
taking a bet on himself?
That
Could
sounds
be.
like it.
What's he got there to work with in New England now?
Sounds like it.
Duran, thanks for joining, man. What do you think about this? I mean, New England Patriots have Cam Newton. I was a Cam Newton fan when he's healthy, if he makes the right decision, but he
That's
hasn't been able to throw the ball
The
downfield.
question. He just got his
For
shoulder
years.
repaired. He had the Liz Frank injury.
And
So
they don't have a downfield threat anyway. So
No, but that might be good though for him, man. Maybe they're going to use James White and Sony Michelle, and these guys that
They're
dump the ball off
awesome.
and run the ball and keep him healthy because that's what they did with Tom Brady. And if you can keep Cam Newton healthy, does he play good for you
The
to
problem
make
is
you a contender?
his ability to get away has changed. He's been hit enough to where you can catch him now.
Okay,
So you're going to have to find the line's going to have to be strong. He's going to get hit more.
where? But you also have to think too. He's a professional athlete. Where has he been at with his conditioning? With all this time that he's had off,
Right.
has he been in the gym? Has he been making sure that his conditioning is up to par?
I
'Cause
would
if he's
think-
healing properly
Right.
and he's now a threat again with his legs and he's coming in healthy, then we saw a flash in the pan with him in Carolina whenever he first came up. We saw that the guy can make some plays when he needed to, and
He's
that he
won
could use his
MVP.
feet to get out.
He
Right?
does have Bill
MVP.
Belichick. If there's somebody
Ever
who can kind of put
since
something
he
together.
lost that Super Bowl, he's just been irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like
Kind
he's
of a
still
joke.
crying about it.
Yeah.
And now he's playing for the team that beat him in the Super Bowl, right? The Patriots were the ones that beat him, right? Or no?
I thought it was Denver.
Was it Denver?
Could be
Is that
wrong.
who it was? It might be. Like I said, I'm terrible with years and teams like that, so it always gets me. But still,
and
I thought it was Denver.
like we
Could be
said,
wrong.
that is a good point about his contract too. Richard Sherman went out today and said like it is pretty ridiculous. He was a former league MVP just 5 years ago. He was the MVP of this league.
yeah. My
And
buddy Duran actually says that they did that at week 14 or 15. So apparently that was an investigation on the Patriots from week 14 to
Yeah.
15 of last year.
Right.
And that's just going through, and they're getting now suspended or whatever it is, not suspended, but fined, and also maybe another draft pick for that too.
Repeat cheaters, repeat offenders when it
right.
comes to cheating. And
What's $1 million to a team? like that?
$1.1
Nothing
million
for
fine?
really,
Well,
yeah.
it's a big fine when it comes down to it. I mean, players get fined $5.
Duran also says
It's a pretty big fine.
that they
For a
signed.
team,
It's
though,
nothing.
1 million.
You're right.
Yeah.
Duran also says they signed Cam with no one to help him.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
That's what I'm thinking. What's he got?
Well, here's my thing, and Duran, tell me what you think about this. If you got a guy who's coming off an injury that can't really throw the ball downfield, what's better than to have a 3 running back set that you can swap in and out because they have James White who can catch the ball and run. You have Sony Michelle who can run the hell out of the ball.
If you hammer the backfield, though, you're
And
going
if
to
you're
have
using
to get
your-
some type of threat.
If you're using your run game to set up the pass game, but your pass game is a fake downfield
Relevant.
to a dump off to a Sony Michelle or a screen or anything
Still
like
got
that.
Edelman.
You still have Edelman in the slant or in the midfield. So, I mean, there's weapons there for Cam to use, and I think with these weapons, you might see a different Cam Newton this year. You let me know what you think.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll
He's
see
got
what
lots of
happens.
work to do there in New England.
Duran says that Cam has a YouTube channel, and he said he's coming for next.
Yeah.
So,
He talks a lot.
hey, we'll see.
We'll see. He's got to, or else he's
If-
not going to make that much money.
If he's
basically,
getting
so.
if he's getting that
mean,
fight
if-
back in him though, that's getting him interested in playing at that caliber that he needs to play at, then I'm for it.
Yeah,
An
sure. If he can do it, do it.
incentive-based contract is probably going to be good for him.
Well, yeah, because now I think it's that you either perform well or you don't get paid.
Get it? Yeah.
Sure.
So why not?
Now
Probably
Why
be
not
good
give
for
him
earn
a
that
lot of
space?
NFL players, to be
Yeah,
honest. Really.
it should be. I think every
For any
professional athlete
for any
should be
athlete to be-
incentive laden
right.
contract. You know, Here's what you're going to get.
more
You want to get
goals,
more?
get more money.
Play better. You'll
Right.
get more
Play
money.
better.
That's should be how contracts go.
Right, agree.
Breaking news, real quick: another player to fall off the MLB bandwagon. Ian Desmond opts out of the season. These are pretty big names here
That is
that
a
are,
big name.
that
That
are
is a big
dropping
name.
out.
And now Zimmerman and Desmond are both out for
Zimmerman, Desmond?
Washington.
Yeah.
Right? It's Desmond. in
Desmond is
Washington?
Colorado now.
Colorado now.
But yeah, another big name, but another big chip to fall here, and like we said, domino effect. We'll see what other players get kind of nervous and
We're
opt
still
out
got a
of the
couple weeks
season.
for them to.
Plenty of time for all of them
Change
to
their
quit.
mind.
Basically,
Right. Yeah. So,
It's
and then one last thing here we got. We have NFL training camp starts July 28th. And then also watch out. There's a Colin Kaepernick doc that's coming out as well, too.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be
The
entertaining.
true story, I'm sure. Just the things that I love how at least the NFL they've apologized. They're really not addressing the issue, but at least they've said something. At least they've admitted their wrongs.
Yeah.
Right.
They treated that dude shittily.
Yeah. Also, I'd say
Shittily.
Real shit.
that for the most
Shittle.
part wraps up the show for tonight, man.
One more sports note. Just Vince Carter, the man, retires. 22
Very good.
seasons. Who doesn't remember those slam dunk contests? This dude,
Them
just
old
crushing.
Raptors were there to play back in the day. Damon
know it.
Stoudemire,
Yeah.
They were awesome.
Marcus Camby, Tracy
were awesome. I
McGrady.
love that.
They had a fun team in Toronto
Vince Carter was a legend.
pretty good.
So good. Retires. So old, I believe. 42
for
here.
a long time.
Played
TJ
43. Sorry.
Hey, TJ is saying to check out the Hernandez doc yet. Or
Yeah.
wants to know, have you seen it?
Well, we get to hear from his gay lover in jail, right?
Who's that? Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't
That's
know
what the
about
doc's about. They're interviewing his lover from
Yeah,
jail.
it's called Killer Inside on
Interesting.
Netflix.
So check that out if you want
Yep.
some. I don't know what that would prove. Check it out. Maybe.
if you want to,
be weird.
wanna-
It's probably
Yeah.
weird.
Getting
Yeah.
be
weird.
shittily.
Just get a little shittily.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
You'll enjoy it.
Little
So,
shittily.
so hey, let's have some fun here for a minute. So, I watch some other people that I follow. Obviously, we've followed in on it, and there's this new thing that's going on. You guys ready for this?
Oh boy.
I'm so ready.
There's Facebook Live
Here, hold my
trolling.
underwear.
Hey, there's Facebook Live trolling. Are you ready for this? So, whereas I don't use my platform to sell things, people like Chris Carruthers that's tuning in today, they've been doing this to a bunch of people just so that way anybody that sees this knows. They tune into your Facebook Live and then they ask you how much the couch is, and they want to know what the bottom dollar, as you've said multiple times, Chris Carruthers. You're a joke, and anybody else that has time to go around and ruin other people's fun is a joke.
Like the spiral ham thing?
Yeah.
Where they bust in and
yeah.
they start talking about the spiral
Yeah.
hams.
Yeah, because
right.
I'll tell you the truth here. The only thing you're doing for
Not
me, Mr.
original.
Carruthers, is you're just giving me more commenting on my videos, which just helps me as far as my insights
We've
go on
seen
my
this
page.
before. It's
So I appreciate you. Thank you so
though.
much.
So
yeah.
it's 1 million. If you're asking. It's
There
1
he
million.
goes. There's Chris doing his crying face. So that's awesome, Chris. So I'm glad you're having a great time doing it and trying to
Chris
troll people.
Carruthers.
But we don't got time for you. And to tell you the truth, we're not selling shit on here. So you're really not interrupting my show, other than just blowing up my comments, which it is
Well,
what
okay.
it is.
It helps.
Man.
It helps.
Yeah.
So
what
thank
we
you
want,
so much.
baby.
Hopefully, whenever we monetize this, I'll call you and ask you how much for everything in your house, because I have a feeling that it's probably not worth much. But on that note, guys, thank you for
Ouch.
tuning in
Sick
tonight.
burn, man.
For every single one of our fans that
Sick
actually tuned in
burn.
tonight, thank you so much. We're
love
gonna
you
sign
guys.
off on that.
See you guys in a
And,
couple weeks.
Take care
Yeah.
of yourselves.
Hey, watch out for them freaking trolls out there, huh?
Watch out for those
Dude,
trolls.
they're everywhere.
You're gonna get them everywhere.